Hello. Good morning, friends. Yeah, at least few of you can switch on the videos. It'll be very good. Few of you. So hope you did wonderful. Wonderfully well in Group 1 accounting paper. உள்ள பச்சி சொல்லிடுச்சு ஃபைனல் அக்கௌண்ட்ஸ் ஃபினான்ஷியல் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் ஆஃப் கம்பெனிஸ் கம்மிங் ஃபார் 20 marks. Somehow came. நானே ஷாக் ஆயிட்டேன். So similarly, many of the standards also the same manner it came. But lengthy paper only, so I won't tell you like yeah, all the standards were on the predicted lines also. So it was lengthy paper, but still there is no excuse for like not attempting 100 marks. So you have to somehow manage and complete that quota of 100 marks. Something like we'll tell attempt definitely play 50 overs, play 20 overs, don't get all out before that. Similarly, attempting 100 marks should be the mantra. So there is no other excuse for it. Like even if you say 96 marks, I feel some negativity in that. So thereby, if you have some disappointment somewhere, forget it. Now henceforth, again the mantra should be in every examination, not in accounts or any other paper. 100 marks I have attempted. So how much marks I get, that is different. So the last 1 hour you should definitely take a review. What is left, how many hours, increase the speed, slight scribbling of handwriting is okay, but attempt of 100 marks is must in every paper. So I understood accounts, good papers, standard papers, I won't say very easy, but if you revised well, definitely it is an easy paper only. So we have discussed and predicted, and many things came. Then law and costing was easy. So this time costing was easy is what felt. This is the general feedback we got. Tax கொஞ்சம் ஸ்லைட்டாக டஃப்பாக இருந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஃபீல், டேக்ஸ் எப்படி பண்ணிட்டாங்களேன்னு. ஆனால் அதுவுமே என் மைண்டில் ஒரு எக்ஸ்பெக்டேஷன் இருந்தது, பிகாஸ் 2 days லீவு கொடுக்குறானே, ஏதாவது செய்ய போகிறான்னு. ஸோ டேக்ஸில் அப்படி பண்ணிட்டான். எனிவே, that's okay. So forget it. So whatever happened is happened. We can't change anything. Now let us proceed to the group 2. My dear friends. So as far as group 2 is concerned, it's nothing to be laughed, Ramachandra, because we have told you financial statement of companies are cash flow. So there is no shocker that cash flow coming for 5 marks. For the last 2-3 examination it is happening. So there is no shocker, nothing like that sort. So only thing is I've seen some students only negatives they'll think. Stock and data system again came. You should feel happy about it. Stock and data system, independent batches did not come, so you should feel happy about it, but they do always take it in a negative frame. So that shouldn't be the thing, my dear friends. So you should have taken all the positives of this paper. So similarly in advanced accounting also, paper will be like very lengthy. So it will be like 1.8 minutes per mark. So in that sense 20 marks, 36 minutes. So there, by accounting standards, if you would have completed in 5 or 6 minutes time, then 24 minutes. So on the fast should always be there. Appo adhula irukra surplus should be used for somewhere else. So another 20 mark question can be used for 20 marks for 40 minutes. Some are 30 minutes, some are 40. So all the question is not 36 minutes. So something like that, spread, plan, and at least the last 1 hour, even if you don't plan for the first 2 hours, last hour should be real slog scenario. Every ball kadakadala adichi smash pannin andha mari oru scenario create panni 100 marks attempt. Because I have heard several students 80 96 sir 4 marks தான் விட்டேன் அப்படியெல்லாம் ஒரு ப்ரௌடாக சொல்லுவாங்க. அதை வேண்டாம், எனக்கு 100 மார்க் எழுதிட்டேன். ஆனால் நிறைய ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் have acknowledged through WhatsApp, I have written 100 marks. So that way it is very very good. Okay. My dear friends, just moving on to advanced accounting. In advanced accounting, we had already one session for chapters. So we had already one head session for chapters. Please go through that particular session, because, or at least view that session one more time if you find time. We can have also our speed 1.25. Already speed speed 1.25 வச்சு அந்த session இன்னொரு தடவை கேட்டா you would have analyzed the various chapters and would have told some predictions. So ஒரு recap தான். So like in accounting, we don't have many chapters, we have only specifically 9 chapters. அதுலயும் ஒரு chapter is accounting standard. அப்போ we have only 8 chapters தான். So in that 8 chapters, major 3 chapters are amalgamation, absorption, reconstruction, together one chapter for us. So then we have partnership and then consolidation. Definitely questions going to come from these chapters. Or again, இது group 1ல கரெக்ட்ன்றதுனால group 2 it should be correct அப்படிலாம் கிடையாது, because I don't have any extraordinary power என்றால் சும்மா analysis பண்ணி statistically we made some prediction. So அதே மாதிரி we expect reconstruction problem. So அதனால you should at least the RTP ஓட last 2-3 examination ஓட reconstruction problem without fail you should have glanced through. Similarly, it could be a problem from amalgamation in the nature of merger. So in the mock test papers check பண்ணீங்கன்னா இந்த 2 mock test papers without fail இன்னைக்கு நாளைக்கெல்லாம் வந்து don't try to revise from structured notes etc. என்றால், so RTP mock test papers suggested answers minimum 333 numbers. இதுதான் today and tomorrow's preparation should be. There is no need for concept learning etc. Keep solving problems from randomly from different chapters. அதுக்கு you take these sources. அதில் இந்த last 2 mock test institute siteல இருக்கு. So visit the site. mock test papersல இருக்கிற all the accounting standard and all the problem. அதில் ஒரு problem we have amalgamation, the nature of merger. அதை solve பண்ணுங்க. So reconstruction internal and amalgamation, the nature of merger, possibility is there. So reconstruction வந்தாலும் there could be still a 5 mark question from AS 14 testing the purchase consideration, payments to members only. They will give payments to preference shareholders, equity shareholders, debenture holders, then liquidation expenses payment, like that. Though so many things will be given. You know, para 3G says that payments to members alone will be accounted as purchase consideration, and the problem can come. Partnership la highly expected, again this will come lang kadayadu. So what if it doesn't come? Shock அப்படின்லாம் கிடையாது. So highly expected என்னன்னா piecemeal distribution. Then amalgamation of firm. So இந்த ரெண்டுமே வந்து ஒரு more expectation, because it did not come in the last few examination. So ஒன்னு அந்த piecemeal distribution with commission calculation என்றால் அதையும் செக் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. Similarly this amalgamation of firm, so without realization, no realization concept, in the separate books they revalue, prepare capital account, then revise the balances of assets, liability, capital will be transferred to the new firm. அங்க goodwill will be written off, raised written off, illa net effect will be given through single journal entry. Similarly, capital adjustment, proportionate capital adjustment, either by taking total capital approach or individual capital approach. இதெல்லாம் classல explained. So I'm just telling you, just have a glance through this. Third, consolidation problem. Consolidation la either it could be the I told you balance sheet problem with the dividend and revaluation adjustment. RTP check பண்ணா தெரியும் அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு problem they have also taken into the RTP. So அவங்களும் அந்த மாதிரி அனலைஸ் பண்ணி தான் RTP they will be making. So study module இருக்கிற சம்மோ இல்ல RTP சம்மோ please solve revaluation with dividend. Okay, அது ஒண்ணு. இன்னொரு problem like could be expected is because of the different accounting policy by holding and subsidiary. A subsidiary is having a particular different accounting policy. So there is a problem we solve. Restate the balance sheet of subsidiary. They are not asking CBS. Restate the balance sheet of subsidiary for the purpose of consolidation. Appo, based on the policies of this holding company, we make some adjustment to the subsidiaries figures, subsidiaries values of inventories. Inventory they were following FIFO, but so holding following weighted average. So some adjustment is required. Similarly, advertisement expenditure write-off, then provision for bad debts, so reversal, like that 2-3 adjustments based problem is also one of the problem. So again, as a student, what I normally have more chance, that's all. This is 3 chapters. ESOP I told you, Generally it is a simple problems onto the ESPP, one single journal entry, like that they will be testing. Or there could be a possibility of that a choice limited problem, that earnings if it is this much, so vesting period initially 2 years, later on revised to 3 years, or the value of option 30 rupees, value of option 40 rupees, this condition na 30 rupees, that condition na 40 rupees, that particular question can also come. So for a 8 mark question like that level it can come, my dear friends. So go through that. This 4 chapters over. Bank I have already told you, rebate on bills discounted, P&L, this focus pannunga. Then in NBFC I told you provisioning relating to hire purchase leased asset. So that could be, or normal provision, systemically important, non-systemically important, like the 2 segments we have. So that also you should be going through. We have 6 chapters over. Next we have this liquidation, my dear friends. So liquidation, there is a possibility of B list contributories. B list contributories, statement of affairs, so far normally not tested, suddenly a surprise can come, may come. Okay, so just aware of the format. So where in the chapter that has been left out? Buyback 2-3 times they have tested that conditions and all. So there could be a simple problem on to asking journal entries. This many shares bought back, you give journal entries, like that, my dear friends. Okay, so now proceeding to our segment today. Today's segment is not discussing chapters. Our segment is accounting standards. Definite, consistent coming for 30 marks. It can go now only up to 35 marks. So which means it will not reduce less than 30 marks. So reduce 25, but definitely the last 3 examination I find 30 marks. The first 4 question, mandatory question, 20 marks. Last question number 6 again I am finding 2 accounting standard question. So totally 30 marks coverage in the next 2.5 hours, my dear friends. So active participate panni, immediate solve those problems from the RTPs, mock test papers, accounting standard na 30 marks lampa lalam. Okay, so like that is the objective of this particular session, my dear friends. Okay, so accounting standard revision class. So this is AS revision class relating to advanced accounts, group 2, AS revision class. We have 13 accounting standards. So in group 1 we have only 8 standards, no? So this 4 came, so next 4 come, like that we can tell, but here it is not that easy, my dear friends. So in the last examination based, so we understood that we had a question from AS5, AS7, we had a question from AS17, 19 we had, 20 we had a question from 29 also. So these were the 6 questions that we had the last time. So which means, my dear friends, the expectation could be naturally will be on to the other standards. So which will be AS4, AS9, AS18, AS22. Last 2 examination did not come. AS22. So then 24, 26 and AS14 could be a normal testing. So we'll just, anyway, we are going to focus all the standards. It's chumma what came and what is highly expected, but there is every chance they can mix with both also. They will not make the students to predict that easy and all. So they will repeat the questions also, repeat the standard, not the same question, repeat the standard possible. Anyway, so you should give more importance. Okay, anyway, so let's take it from the reverse, my dear friends. Those that has already come, so less discussion, and those yet to come, more discussion, like that only. We are going to discuss all the standards, small discussion or little bit of detailed discussion, like that we are just planning. Okay, so we'll come from the reverse here. Account AS29. So my dear friends, provision, contingent liability and contingent asset. Provision, contingent liability, contingent asset. So my dear friends, the standard deals with blah blah blah. Provision, we need to satisfy three conditions. What are three conditions? Present obligation as a result of past event, So if three conditions satisfied only, you are allowed to recognize provision, So then, my dear friends, outflow probable, then it is reliably measurable. The moment you find a question that comes from this standard AS 29 relating to provision, then you should write this provision as per AS 29. So provision can be recognized only if the following conditions are satisfied. There should be a present obligation arising from past event in which outflow of economic resources is probable and the amount is reliably measurable. In the given case, the facts only conclusion. Suppose conclusion wrong also, for the correct identification of the relevant provision, 1 mark will be awarded. Another immediate on the point, because AS29 generally questions based on this numbers will be less, case studies question only will come. So adala we told a few things, my dear friends. Obligation is considered to be present if it is probable, which means if there is more likelihood of the losses, then definitely the obligation is considered as present obligation. Another point. Another point is that, my dear friends, obligation is considered to exist only if it exists independent of future actions, including going concern. Independent of future actions, including going concern. The 2 points you remember. Based on this, you can answer any questions, my dear friends. You can answer any questions. I hope you are following, everybody. So, about a few questions on the what comes to my mind, my dear friends. Some legal regulations asking us to fit smoke filter or asking us to do something else. Legal regulations is there. Time limit given. So, on the balance sheet date, still we have time now. So should I create a provision? They are telling you 10 lakhs will be incurred to comply with that legal regulation. So they are giving you some future prospective time for you to do that. So to fit a smoke filter, so internally arrange the factory in a different manner, so like that and all. But should we create provision and keta? There is no required. So aircraft, servicing once in 3 years, or furnace lining to be replaced once in 3 years, like that, different requirement. So we are telling that no provision, because there is no obligating event. But on the balance sheet date, a cut-off time has been given, and if you have breached the cut-off time, then we may have to create provision for the fines and penalties. That you remember. So many questions are based on that particular point only, my dear friends. Other area. So it should independently exist. It should independent of future actions. So which means if I am going to sell my factory, government can't force me to fit that smoke filter on the basis. But if I already contaminated land and government requires me to clean up that, adukku future time is given nalo, even though I have time limit, but still there is a past event occurs which gives me obligation. So thereby there we require provision for the past contamination. Definitely we need to create provision. Like that we understood, my dear friends. Remember? Okay. Now few questions, other questions. The RTP before this examination, we had a question like this. We are conducting one fair. We are conducting some fair. So, island ground la superana oru exhibition cum fair we are conducting. So many stalls will be booked. So many companies will book stalls. Stall book பண்ணும்போது we will collect fees from them. 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs for booking the stall. Along with that, we collect some money for contingencies. We are collecting 3 lakhs plus or 10,000 rupees we are collecting for contingencies. What happens now? Suddenly there is a fire accident or something happened to that particular stage and all, some damage happens now, then we may have to bear it. So we collect that particular money, my dear friends, as contingencies money. Apo, what that particular organization conducting the fair doing now, they booked that particular contingency amount also as income, and that same was they were creating a provision for contingency. Like that they are creating. Whether that particular accounting was correct on keta, absolutely not correct. So they have collected the income, that is okay. There is no present obligation. So if it comes, then I will pay. That and all we can't create obligation. There is no present obligation arising from past event. That is a question that came from the the previous RTP, not the latest examination RTP. So please aware of that particular question. Another thing is, my dear friends, they are asking you about computation of provision in relation to sales warranty. In relation to sales warranty. So they are telling sales date of some 3-4 numbers, sales date given, sales on 20th March, 19th April, like the different sales given, and they are telling you provision for warranty. Provision for warranty is it is 3%, it is 4%, 3% if remaining period is 1 year, 4% if remaining warranty period is 2 years. Like that they have given, my dear friends. Apo, what do you do? Based on the date of sales, you should check the warranty period as on the balance sheet date. As on the balance sheet date, how much of the warranty period over, how much of the remaining warranty period exists. Based on that, on the amount of sales, you will apply either 3% or 4%. So in one particular year, it might be 4%. In another year, it may be 3%. So in the year of sales, still 2 more years pending na, you will apply 4%. But 1 year later na, then next year you will apply for the same sales, again you will apply 3%. The question also was asking how much provision is recognizable for year 22-23. Apo 21-22 some provision was created for this sales. 22-23 you compute the provision. The difference between these two provision should be a charge in the P&L. The difference between these two provision should be a charge in the P&L because provision relating to this sales already created. So what you are computing is total amount. So you should know the difference current year provision. Like that one computation problem also I have noticed, it's a special problems. So these are the things that you should be aware of. AS 29 provision. Contingent liability not to be recognized, requires only disclosure. Contingent asset not to be recognized, not to be disclosed in the accounts, but it may be disclosed in the report of approving authority. Like that we discussed, my dear friends. Hope you remember those things. So this provision over AS 29 over 13 standards. One standard completed in 10 minutes time. Shall we proceed for the next AS 26? Intangible assets. AS 26 intangible assets. My dear friends, intangible assets generally recognize, you should satisfy the conditions of intangible asset. So conditions of intangible assets means identifiable non-monetary asset with without physical substance. It's the basic conditions of being an intangible asset. Being an intangible asset. But that area not many times tested. If at all, if you want to identify whether it is an asset or intangible asset or not, these 4 points should be satisfied. Just remember that. In addition to these 4 points, there you should also have controllability, generation of future economic benefits, cost reliably measurable. 4 points to make it intangible asset. 3 conditions for recognizing intangible asset. Identifiable, non-monetary asset without physical substance. Without physical substance. Without physical substance. This is intangible asset or a meaning. Now to recognize it, controllability. Controllability, you know that we should get benefits. We should also have the right to restrict others to such benefit. Other controllability. Then it should generate future economic benefit. Cost reliably measurable. Cost reliably measurable. So this is basic conditions for recognizing intangible asset. That's okay. Now core area will be based on the research and development, my dear friends. Core area will be based on the research and development. So we know that if it is research expense now, it is always expense. If it is research expense now, always it is expense. Development expense now, capitalized, subject to condition. Subject to conditions. So research phase always expense. Development phase expenditure now subject to conditions. In one of the problem, the question actually gave research and development expenditure this much lakhs, 30 lakhs incurred this year. But there was uncertainty about future benefits. There was uncertainty. They didn't tell it is research or development done. Research and development 30 lakhs. They are telling, but there is uncertainty about future benefit. but this entity wants to defer the expenditure to 2 years. Defer the expenditure to 2 years. Not possible, because here when we say subject to conditions, no, for development expenditure subject to conditions. What are the conditions we have, my dear friends? So we need to understand the availability, the technical feasibility of completion, intention and ability to complete, future economic benefit, reliably measurable. These 4 conditions. Technical feasibility of completion, that you have all the resources to complete it, your intention as well as ability to complete it, then it should generate future economic benefit which is certain, then cost is reliably measurable. Only then development phase expenditure will be capitalized. It is not that we are telling development always capitalized. No, should satisfy condition. Condition not satisfied na, even development expenditure also will be expense. Remember few other points. Once expense cannot be capitalized again, even though condition subsequently satisfied, it cannot be capitalized. Once capitalized, if the condition subsequently not satisfied na, it should be taken back to P&L. It should be charged to P&L. These points you should be knowing, my dear friends. All of you, apo one problem. I don't know which source now. I have gone through mock test papers 1 and 2, RTP, suggested answer, everything. So, but what strikes my mind in one of the problem is that, so they given, my dear friends, development expenditure they have incurred. Development expenditure incurred in relation to a particular product, my dear friends, to the extent of 98 lakhs for the year 2021. So they have on 1st January 2021 conditions satisfied. Condition satisfied only on 1st January 2021. Expenditure till 1/1/21 was 68 lakhs. Expenditure till 1/1/21 was 68 lakhs. Like that information given. Then expenditure during 21-22, expenditure during 21-22 is another 72 lakhs. Then recoverable amount by 31/3/22 is 52 lakhs. So question is asking the charge in P&L for 2021 and 21-22 relating to this expenditure. Apo you will write as per AS 26. Development expenditure can be capitalized only if the conditions are satisfied. But this is development expenditure very clearly given in the question. It is qualified for capitalization, but only from the date of satisfying conditions. Out of 98 lakhs, how much can be capitalized? 68 lakhs can be capitalized na? No. 68 lakhs should be expensed and 30 lakhs will be capitalized. The question was also asking carrying amount in the balance sheet. Carrying amount in balance sheet, my dear friends. Carrying amount in balance sheet by 31/3/21 will be 98 minus 68, 30 lakhs. 68 is expensed in the 2021. 68 is expensed in the 2021 because conditions not satisfied. Subsequent year, we have additionally incurred how much? 72 lakhs. 30 plus 72, 102 lakhs. Even though you don't have a specific standard AS 28, but in this AS 26 they says that until the asset is actually put into use, every year it will be tested for impairment, which means you should check with recoverable amount. And if the recoverable amount is less than then you should recognize something called impairment loss. That is actually called impairment loss. You should recognize something called impairment loss. So in the subsequent year, we incurred a cost of 72 lakhs. Now, what happens? It is 30 lakhs plus 72, 102 lakhs will be the balance sheet value because conditions are all satisfied. All the conditions satisfied. But the recoverable amount is only 52 lakhs abdina. Then you should write off the to recoverable amount. So thereby 50 lakhs will be recognized as an impairment loss during 21-22. You should be recognizing 50 lakhs as an impairment loss during 21-22. Hope you are understanding this, all of you. Even though AS 28 deals with impairment, but impairment related to intangible assets, related one condition is given in AS 26 that intangible asset until it is actually ready for use. It is in the development stage now. Every year it will be tested for impairment. What is testing for impairment means comparing the carrying amount with the amount expected to be recovered from the asset, recoverable amount. So if the recoverable amount is more, no problem. You don't increase and all. But if the recoverable amount is less, then you should write it to recoverable amount. Balance sheet value will be how much? 50 lakhs will be charged in P&L, and balance sheet value will be 52 lakhs. Like this one problem I noticed. So that is brought in to your notice also. So hope you are understanding this concept. Research and development phase expenditure. So once expense cannot be capitalized. So research phase can never be capitalized. Development phase subject to conditions can be capitalized. It is also tested for impairment. Okay. Fine. So this you should be remembering, my dear friends. Impairment loss will be charged in P&L. Obviously, yes. So I already told 50 lakhs will be charged in P&L. Okay. Next, relating to the amortization, my dear friends. Amortization. So the question says that in one particular year, J Limited purchased one business. So net asset of that business was 80 lakhs. Purchase consideration was 96 lakhs. Then they also purchased one patent or registered one patent. So patent is like this, my dear friends. It is 60 lakhs. Patent is 60 lakhs with a useful life of 8 years. Then there is another இது வேணா நான் இப்படி வச்சுக்கிறேன் 12 years வச்சுக்கிறேன். Just to twist பண்றேன் அந்த questionல. So then you have a franchisee right. Franchisee rightல வந்து it has been given that a fixed fee. Franchisee right. A fixed fee of 45 lakhs. அதுக்கப்புறம் variable 10% of revenue. 10% of revenue. Revenue for first year. Revenue for first year is 10 lakhs. Like that they have given. Now they are asking you to prepare a schedule of intangible asset. Schedule of intangible asset to be shown in the balance sheet. Like this one question pa. In this, what is the intangible asset arising from the first instance? What is the intangible asset arising? Intangible asset arising is we have goodwill. Net asset 80 lakhs. Consideration 96. So you are having a goodwill of 16 lakhs. Question A should tell how it is expected to be amortized. Even if it is not given also, you should understand this 16 lakhs should be amortized over a period of 5 years, because the goodwill order computation is as per AS 14. Goodwill order recognition is as per AS 14. And the AS 14 says that such purchased goodwill shall be amortized over a period of 5 years. This is as per AS 14. So goodwill will be presented in the balance sheet, subsequent accounting and all as per AS 26 now. But other amortization period mentioned in the AS 14. So thereby you should amortize it over a period of 5 years. Hope you are understanding this, all of you. Number 1. Number 2, my dear friends, patent 60 lakhs, estimated useful life. Estimated useful life, it is 12 years. Estimated useful life 12 years. Now, then as per AS 26, maximum amortization period is only 10 years. Maximum amortization period 10 years. But if it is a contractual period now, then you should be taking as 12 years. If it is 12 should be taken as 12, 7 to be taken as 7. So now be very clear, my dear friends, okay? Estimated useful life 12 na, you should take it only 10 years. But contractual period na, then, so if you have a proper evidence na, then the life can be more than 10 also. It is not rigid, my dear friends. You should be remembering that. So here if I say estimated life 12 na, then I should use amortization only for 10 years. So 60 divided by 10, 6 lakhs is the amortization. Then as far as franchisee right is concerned, variable payment is not part of cost. Variable payment is not part of cost. So it is only the fixed payment. Simply ignore the variable payment. Don't take that also and add it to the cost and all, my dear friends. So you will have every year some variable payment. and how much will be variable payment we can't consider. This you would have appreciated in lease also. Lease la fixed payment will be there, variable payment will be there, but how much will take it as value of asset na only based on the fixed payment, lease payment. Contingent rent will never include as part of cost of the asset. So same way only variable payment will be accounted as expense in the respective period. It is not cost of the intangible asset, and the fixed payment committed na should be taken as part of the asset. Whether it is paid or not paid doesn't matter. Hope you are understanding. So 45 lakhs. And they are saying that what, imagine the life is 6 years, contractual life is 6 years na, you should be taking that particular 6 years, all of you. Appo if the period is more than 10 na, just check whether it is contractual or estimated. Contractual means a period more than 10 years can be taken. So based on this you should prepare the first working note should be presented, to show various amortization. So goodwill calculation 96, consideration 96, 80, so it is 16 lakhs, then 5 years amortization, so 3.2 lakhs, so you will be having a value of 12.8 lakhs. You will be having like patent, so 60 lakhs, 10 years life, so 6 lakhs, 54 lakhs. Then you have franchisee right, 45 lakhs, 6 years, 7.5, 37.5. So that way you will be showing these amounts in the balance sheet. Then you will show an extract of balance sheet. So under asset side, non-current asset, so adala intangible asset, you will be showing the total. This is that how you present in the examination, my dear friends, all of you. It's so such a big question comes, people will be immediately making their mind, no more twist, let's not attempt. That was an easy question. Amount given, life given, depreciate, balance is the carrying amount. So schedule of intangible asset edo periya question anasikaranga. It's an easy question only based on the amortization concept of the intangible asset, all of you. Okay, so similarly my dear friends, generally the amortization should reflect the pattern of consumption of benefit. If the pattern is not determinable na, straight line method. Similarly residual value, if it is contractual or if it is evidenced by active market, then such residual value can be considered. Otherwise residual value is nil. Estimated residual value given na, it is nil. These points you should be remembering in relation to the amortization of intangible asset. So recognition of cost, the amortization of intangible asset, R&D. This is general questions based on AS 26. All of you. About 15 minutes in the standard over. Okay, so we have completed AS 26 also, intangible assets. So proceeding to the next segment of discussion. Shall we proceed? So 29 over, 26 over. What is next, sir? Easy standard, 24. How do you standard? That's standard. Discontinuing operations. How do you standard? So we have discontinuing operation. So my dear friends, so what is discontinuing operation na? Subject to an overall plan. Subject to an overall plan. That's first. So an entity subject to an overall plan is disposing of a component completely. Disposing of a component completely, either in a single sale transaction or disposing on piecemeal basis, or terminating through abandonment. And this represents a geographical segment or a business segment which can be differentiated for operational and reporting purpose. Like that we defined what is DCO. About the business segment or geographical segment going to be completely disposed, but subject to an overall plan. Either in a single transaction, or today I sell this to so and so person, tomorrow I will sell to some other person. Like that konjam I am selling. Can I say discontinuing operation? Yes, you can tell, provided there is an overall plan conveying the time limit, when it is going to be disposed, what is the methodology of disposal. Like that plan panni panna, that is discontinuing operation. Plan pannama or unit is disposed na, then that is not discontinuing operation. Appo adu base panni you should be understanding this. Appo we have taken this particular car company, my dear friends. So one of the car company, so passenger cars and commercial car. So on the segment they are closing. So without making a plan, that particular car or assets factory and all slowly getting dismantled. Some HR and all we have absorbed, some machinery we have retained, balance and all fully disposed, then that is not amounting to discontinued operation, like that we told. But if they pass a proper resolution and also devise the methodology of the closure, then it is a discontinuing operation. Based on the basic definition of discontinued operation, a question can come. So subject and overall plan, it is going to be disposed. This is the basic concept. Then the standard also mentions that, my dear friends, certain disposals cannot be considered as discontinued operation. Gradual phasing out of a product line, or relocation from one place to another place, closure for achieving some productivity, optimum productivity. So these things independently cannot be considered as discontinued operation. So bathing soap, washing soap, one soap order production keep on reducing, another soap order production keep on increasing. அதுக்கு பேரு gradual phasing out of a product line. Which means resources used in one product slowly we are converting into another product. That is not discontinuing operation. Like that, one case study problem we solved. Maximum in the rendu case da, nothing more than this, my dear friends. அதுக்கப்புறம் exactly very good Shanmugam, super. So question கேக்குறான்னு தெரியல. Okay, so I mean explanation போல இருக்கு. So அடுத்தது disclosure. So relating to discontinuing operation, what is to be disclosed? Primarily what are the assets, liabilities, income, expense relating to discontinuing operation should be disclosed. Asset, liability, income, expense relating, so that people will understand இதெல்லாம் this year exist, next year will not be there, people will be knowing, that's all. அதே மாதிரி profit or loss before tax, profit or loss after tax, இது மட்டும் இது first segment notes லியும், இது வந்து on the face of P&L லியும் should be disclosed. Sometime they will ask you, what are the disclosures by AS 24? Simple இதெல்லாம் assets related to discontinued operation, liabilities disclosure அப்படின்னு இது எழுதுனாலே lump of 5 marks will be getting. அதுக்கப்புறம் this disclosure should commence from which date onwards it should commence from the period in which initial disclosure event occurs அப்படின்னு ஒரு concept. Initial disclosure event occurs. What is initial disclosure event அப்படின்னா, it is the date of binding sale agreement. That is, in the unit you are going to close not by simply dismantling it, but அப்படியே unit we are selling to some other company. அப்போ date of binding sale agreement or date of the plan and the date on which it is communicated. So date of devising the approval of plan and communicated to the interested parties. So andanga, so rendume nadandirukonu, you have devised the plan and also communicated, whichever occurs earlier, which means either this date of binding sale agreement or the plan date and the communication date together, whichever occurs earlier, that date is what we call as initial disclosure event. Appo in your disclosures you should also disclose the date and nature of initial disclosure event. Date of initial disclosure IDE, nature of IDE. Nature of IDE is either binding sale agreement or plan communication. So which is that அப்படின்ட்டு. Similarly, whether this unit represent business segment or geographical segment, then when discontinuation expected to be completed, in the disclosure, so should be made. This is AS 24, nothing more than this, no computation whatsoever. So they may ask you various disclosures. These disclosures, this is the event, date of binding sale agreement or date on which the plan was approved, devised, approved and communicated to the interested parties. So adu whichever occurs earlier. அதுக்கப்புறம் what is DCO, what is not DCO அப்படின்றது தான் is AS 24. Any question comes na easier you can answer. Only thing is the answer க்கு என்ன சம்மரியோ or final conclusionோ அதுக்கேற்ற மாதிரி மேட்சிங்கான ப்ரொவிஷன் சொல்லணும். ஆஸ் பர் AS 24னு சொல்லி எழுதணும். அப்புறம் இந்த கிவன் கேஸ் அப்படின்னு அதோட ஃபேக்ட்ஸு, அப்புறம் அந்த இனிஷியல் பேராகிராஃப் எழுதின மாதிரியே கன்க்ளூஷன் பண்ணணும். அந்த மாதிரி ஸ்ட்ரக்சர்டாக இருந்தால் சூப்பராக வில் பி கெட்டிங் மார்க்ஸ் மை டியர் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், ஆல் ஆஃப் யூ. அப்போ வி ஆர் கம்ப்ளீட்டிங் நவ் 3 ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்ஸ், 29 over, 26 over, 24 over. கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சம் ஞாபகம் வருதா எல்லாம்? ஓகே, சூப்பர் மை டியர் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ். இப்போ நீங்கள் எதிர்பார்க்குற ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் AS 22 அக்கௌண்டிங் ஃபார் டாக்ஸஸ் ஆன் இன்கம். AS 22 accounting for taxes on income. Okay. My dear friends, AS 22 accounting for taxes on income. We have taken no doubt 6-7 hours and all. So don't worry my dear friends. AS 22 கொஞ்சம் டீட்டெயில்டாக ரிவைஸ் பண்ணுங்க சார். டீட்டெயில்டான என்ன ஒரு 6 hours நடத்திடலாமா? பிச்சு பிடம் பிச்சு. ஸோ AS 22 my dear friends, accounting for taxes on income. Primarily என்ன கான்செப்ட் அப்படின்னா, we want to bring out a matching. That is, we have two incomes first of all, accounting income, taxable income. Taxable income க்கு தான் we pay tax. But we want to book tax which is matching with accounting income. அப்போ what we will normally understand is profit before tax இங்க ஒரு 8 lakhs இங்க ஒரு 6 lakhs னா we pay tax based on this taxable income. அதை we call it as current tax. ஆனா அது இல்ல tax expense. taxக்கான expense அது இல்ல. We want the tax expense generally to match with this accounting income. So what we'll do, first actual tax you compute. What is actual tax? Tax on taxable income you compute pa. So adile you will be getting say 30% na 30% tax rate means it is 1,80,000 current tax. That's okay. Ipo what we should understand is that in the difference between these accounting and income and taxable income you should make a separate adjustment, notional adjustment called deferred tax, which will be deferred tax asset or deferred tax liability. Deferred tax asset or deferred tax liability. So in the deferred tax asset, deferred tax liability should be computed and that will be added or deducted from current tax to arrive at tax expense. So tax expense in the question of starting, our standard of starting is like this. Tax expenses aggregate of, this is how you are going to start. We need to compute something called tax expense to be shown in P&L, which is aggregate of current tax plus or minus deferred tax. Current tax plus or minus deferred tax. This much only you should be understanding my dear friends, all of you. Okay, சரி, அப்போ current tax means what? Tax on taxable income. Compute the taxable income in accordance with the provisions of income tax. Apply tax rate, we will be getting current tax. Now we should know how to calculate deferred tax. How to calculate deferred tax? Deferred tax is calculated for the timing difference between accounting income and taxable income. Appo what we should understand na, between accounts and tax you should not find out difference between net profit. That is wrong. You should not find out difference between these two. What you should find out na, or head of income and expense, expense 1, expense 2, or item should be compared and find out the difference. Each of the item you compare and find out the difference. Understood? So not the difference between net profit. So okay sir, super sir. Appo you mean to say I will have 4-5 differences? Yes, you will have 4-5 differences. So depreciation, salary, interest, rent, அப்படினு so many items showing differences between accounting income, taxable income. Profit on sale of asset, accounts loan, tax loan, அங்க ஏதோ இண்டெக்ஸ் பண்ணி எல்லாம் போட்டுருக்கான். So like that you have lot of differences between accounts and tax. Understood? சரி, all those differences you should identify. First identify all differences. Depreciation difference, interest நால வந்த difference, interest இங்க 5 lakhs அங்க 3 lakhs. ஏன்? Because இங்க accrual அங்க payment basis. Depreciation இங்க 3 lakhs அங்க 2 lakhs. ஏன்? Different rates of income tax. Provision இங்க இருக்கு அங்க provision இல்ல, because that is allowed on actual basis. But we allowed. So we have like that so many differences. In the differences first you should identify carefully into timing difference and permanent difference. timing difference and permanent difference. Ignore this permanent difference. கண்டுபிடிச்சு இக்னோர் பண்ணிடணும். ஸோ படித்தவுடன் கீழ்ஸ்டோன்ற மாதிரி கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டு இமீடியட்டாக யூ ஷுட் இக்னோர் இட். யூ ஷுட் நாட் டேக் இட் ஃபர்தர் மை டியர் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ். அண்டர்ஸ்டுடா? ஸோ we are concerned only with timing difference. அப்போ what is the permanent difference? Sir, difference arose this year and it doesn't have any future impact, sir. What is it, sir? You have cash payments in excess of 10,000. Tax la disallowed. Tax la disallowed. Accounts la debited. Debited in P&L. Tax la that is not recognized as an expense. Appo that is a difference this year. Okay. This difference has got something having impact in future. No impact. Adu poch. Adu permanent difference. Lifelong difference avladha. Adora benefit and last. Understood? So that is called permanent difference. I made some donation to religious trust. I made some donation to religious trust. Appo accounts la adu debited. Tax la adu not allowed as expense. Future la edavadhu பண்ணுவீங்களா sir? So that is called permanent difference. These examples of permanent difference. Ignore it. Temporary difference or timing difference, my dear friends. This year the difference in the what way it caused difference, so and the manner will be reversed in the future, which means this year accounts la more expense, tax la less expense. In future, not necessarily next year, in future in some years இந்த அமௌண்ட் அப்படியே உல்டாவா மாறும். டாக்ஸ்ல மோரும், அக்கவுண்ட்ஸ்ல will be less. So that is called timing difference, which means difference which is caused this year will be reversed in the subsequent or future period. Is called timing difference. Okay. அப்போ identify such timing difference. Example, sir, depreciation for accounts this year 10 lakhs. For tax it is 15 lakhs. And in future there is a possibility that it will be tax, it will be, suppose simple information, 30 lakhs asset, accounts 3 years, tax 2 years, like that useful life has been given. So thereby 10 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs nil. But what happens now? This year there is a difference of 5 lakhs. This year we are having a difference of 5 lakhs. And next year what happens now? In the difference of 10 lakhs getting reversed. How you know? Year 1 tax depreciation more. Year 2 it is not reversing. Still tax depreciation more. Year 3 la tax depreciation less. So that is called reversal period. So origination year la what effect of, when can you say reversal na? That origination effect should be reversed. Origination effect what? Tax depreciation more. Reversal effect what? Tax depreciation less. சரி, இப்போ என்ன சார் பண்ணணும்? நான் என்ன சார் பண்ணணும்? ரொம்ப சிம்பிள். Identify the timing difference. Now just check into the impact on taxable income. That difference, impact on taxable income. If it makes the taxable income more, which means you are paying more tax is excessive tax, asset. Prepayment is asset. So you should not memorize and all. Simple, natural varnum. So or particular difference making taxable income more. Oh, I am paying more tax. More tax na assets. If a particular difference makes the taxable income less na, then I am paying less tax, sir. Oh, you are not paying the proper amount. Liability. That's all. DTA, DTL. Simply you can identify. Like how we discuss in classroom level question not going to come. Simple question going to come. Depreciation. Tax is this much, accounts this much. Find DTA, DTL. So takkana you should be in a position to tell. So my dear friends, that's a very easy application only. What we should understand is that question la 1 or 2 income or expense amounts will be given for accounting purpose and tax purpose. First you should understand whether it is permanent difference or temporary difference. If it is permanent difference, you simply ignore it. Temporary difference, take the difference. Then you analyze whether this difference this year makes the taxable income more or makes the taxable income less. If it makes the taxable income more, DTA. If it makes the taxable income less, DTL. That's all of you. Super. அப்ப சார் கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்லுங்க சார். எக்ஸாம்பிளா? So in the இதே example la, so year number 1 tax depreciation more. அப்ப taxக்கு more, DTA அப்படினு சொல்லலாமா? தப்பு. What you should identify is impact on taxable income. Not this item more or less கிடையாது. Impact on taxable income. So here depreciation is an expense. That expense is more for tax, that makes taxable income less. This expense is more for taxation, that makes taxable income less. So thereby this will result into deferred tax liability. Super, very good. So this is the basic understanding. Appo this year sir, this year and the DTL will be reversed. No. Second year mein adu DTL da. Second year mein it makes the taxable income more da. So still another DTL will be added. Third year la da what is happening na, this taxable income, I mean difference is there. 10 lakhs 0. Appo difference is there. The difference making taxable income less. I'm sorry. The difference making taxable income more. Why? Because no depreciation for tax. So less depreciation for tax. Now making taxable income more. Generally DTA, but in these scenarios it is not DTA, it is called reversal of DTL. Appo our rules will slightly change if we know a particular year is reversal year. If we know a particular year is reversal year instead of origination year. And then so origination reversal puriyaliye. Very first time difference coming no, adu origination pa. Adoda effect appadi ulta agra year da reversal year. So you should know whether you are standing in origination year or reversal year. All of you. Sir, ரொம்ப confuse பண்ணாதீங்க sir. Tomorrow exam sir. சரி, அப்ப examல nothing is mentioned na, always origination year only. Example, nothing is mentioned, it is always origination year except depreciation. அப்ப depreciation always reversal always reversal லாம் கிடையாது. ஒரு basic fact என்ன தெரியுமா, tax depreciation in the initial years will be higher. Tax depreciation in the initial years will be higher. Later period it will be lower. அப்போ if you see the depreciation as an information, accounts tax. Depreciation you are seeing here 8 lakhs, here it is 6 lakhs. Your tax depreciation less. Tax depreciation less. Appo before you conclude DTR DTL, இது origination or reversal அப்படினு செக் பண்ணிக்கோ. அது எப்படி understanding na? So இதுல there is அதுக்கு implied understanding or normal knowledge on to taxation should be applied. Generally tax depreciation will be more in the initial years. அப்ப இப்ப கம்மியா இருக்குனா இது origination year இல்ல, it is reversal year. It is reversal year. அப்போ reversal yearல tax depreciation less, making taxable income more na, you don't create DTA, you should take reversal of DTL. சரியா புரியல sir? One more time sir, I am telling you tax depreciation less na, இது reversal year. Now think in the past it is originated. அப்ப past is the opposite would have happened. What is that? Tax depreciation would have been more, making taxable income less. So you would have created DTL. Adu reversing now. DTL reversing now. Hope you are understanding. Ramachandran enna poitinga? Thookam varudha? So that way we are understanding it is DTL reversal, depreciation alone. But suppose giving these two numbers and question is very clearly telling all the differences are originating na, then it is originating only. So question gives specific direction na, follow the direction. Otherwise all the differences are originating. Depreciation மட்டும் எதுவும் கொடுக்கலனா எப்பவுமே DTL தான். ஒன்னு DTL origination இல்ல DTL reversal is what we should understand my dear friends. அவ்வளவுதான், nothing beyond this. Hope you are following this everybody. They may give like no interest inga 10 lakhs, inga வந்து 6 lakhs. So it is allowed on accrual basis here and paid this much only. So in that case my dear friends, so we find there is a difference of 4 lakhs. In future when it is going to be paid, it will be allowed. இப்போதைக்கு அப்ப இது என்ன difference? Origination reversal ஆனா if nothing is mentioned, always it is origination. Originationல this interest is less na, making taxable income more, so you will create deferred tax asset. Simple. So you will create deferred tax asset. Interest kammi na, taxable income adhigam, expense less na taxable income will be more, so thereby it is DTA. Like that we are understanding. Hope all of you following this, everybody. Okay, so that way interest, depreciation, same some amortized expenses, illa provision, and the mari different heads will be given. So if nothing is mentioned, ellame origination, find out the difference and see the impact on taxable income. Simple knowledge, if it makes the taxable income more, DTA, makes the taxable income less, DTL, and reversal therinja apdiye ultava you should be answering. That's all, my dear friends, all of you. இது பேசிக். அடுத்தது ஸ்பெஷல் இஷ்யூ. என்ன ஸ்பெஷல் இஷ்யூனா டாக்ஸ் ஹாலிடே பீரியட், டாக்ஸ் ஹாலிடே பீரியட், இன்னொன்று மேட் கம்ப்யூட்டேஷன். இந்த மேட் கம்ப்யூட்டேஷன் இது ரெண்டு தான் ஒரு ஸ்பெஷல் ஏரியாவை we can address. ஸோ ஒன்று டாக்ஸ் ஹாலிடே, இன்னொன்று மேட் கம்ப்யூட்டேஷன். Tax holiday period. Again I am telling those two statements. Tax holiday, you know, first few years of operations, tax exempted from payment. Tax exempted from payment. Tax holiday period is generally a period of 5 years. Or question 8 years na 8 years, 10 years na 10 years, whatever period. So initial years la there will be computation of accounting income, computation of taxable income, ellame irukum. Only thing is you are exempted from payment of tax. So thereby on those years current tax will be nil because you don't have tax obligation. Current tax will be nil. Appo question is asking, anyway tax consequence not there for 5 years, no, but deferred tax required anu kekranga. So adukku two provisions we have, two provision supported by one more complementary or incidental provision. So 3, what and all? Timing difference which originate during tax holiday period and are capable of reversal during tax holiday period, for which no deferred tax is required, for which no deferred tax is required. Timing difference which originate during tax holiday period and are capable of reversal after tax holiday period, then deferred tax is required in the year in which timing difference originated. Chat an example for these two statements. So I have an asset worth rupees 80 lakhs, 80 lakhs depreciated over a period of say 10 years, depreciated over a period of 10 years for accounts, tax 100% depreciation. Suppose what I understand, then tax holiday 5 years, tax holiday 5 years. Appo what we are understanding na, so year 1 la it is tax ku 80 lakhs depreciated, accounts ku 10 years abdina 8 lakhs 8 lakhs 8 lakhs will be depreciated. Suppose first year la there is a difference of 72 lakhs, adukaprom we find in the there is a negative 8 lakhs, which means first year mattum the origination, subsequent year onwards it is getting reversed, subsequent year onwards it is getting reversed. Appo 72 lakhs difference originated in first year, and over a period of remaining 9 years, 9 into 8 72 lakhs will be reversed. So 72 lakhs originated, அது reversed over a remaining 9 years, total 10 years la full illama aidu, difference illama. Now what you should do is that tax holiday period 1 2 3 4 5 adala in the 32 is anyway reversed during tax holiday, origination tax holiday, reversal tax holiday, anga no impact of tax, only fully exempted from tax. அப்ப அதுக்கு deferred tax வேண்டாம் அப்படினு சொல்லுது. So timing difference originate during tax holiday period and are expected to be reversed during tax holiday period, adukku no deferred tax. But out of 72 remaining 72 minus 30, so it is remaining 72 minus 32, remaining 40 lakhs we should create deferred tax, not in that 5th year but in year number 1 in which timing difference originated. So like that 40 lakhs into tax rate you will be getting deferred tax liability. So examination இப்படி கேட்கலாம், year 1 timing difference originated 200 lakhs, year 2 timing difference originated 300 lakhs. Then reversal. So reversal of timing difference, my dear friends, it is 20 lakhs. 20 lakhs over a period of 20 lakhs reversal per annum from year 3. Reversal per annum from year 3, 20 lakhs. Ipo, they are telling this tax holiday period. Tax holiday period 8 years. Tax holiday period 8 years. Tax rate 30%. Apo, what is the deferred tax and the period in which you should create this? So can you tell an answer? Timing difference is 200 lakhs. So instead of giving depreciation for two different accounts and tax, difference is given. Difference 200 lakhs. Year 2 difference 300 lakhs. Reversal 20 lakhs from third year onwards. Upon total 500 lakhs will be reversed over a period of 25 years. 25 years I should calculate on keta. Not required. So without that you can easily tell me what is the deferred tax requirement. Tax rate is 30%. So deferred tax and the period, like that you should tell, my dear friends, deferred tax and the period. Deferred tax and the period. So அந்த பாயிண்ட்ல ஒரு இது இருக்கு. So what is that அப்படினா, so tax holiday period 8 years. அப்போ reversal from third year na 3 4 5 6 7 8. அப்போ 5 times, my dear friends, 6 times. 6 times during tax holiday period reversal have happened. So which means timing difference originated year 1 200, year 2 300, total 500. Timing difference reversed year 3 till year 8, 6 into 20, 120. So we understand we should create deferred tax. Timing difference for which deferred tax is required is 380. No doubt in that. 380 into 30% directly we should not be creating, my dear friends. What we should do abdina, for this one more provision. What is the one more provision? So for the purpose of recognizing deferred tax, timing differences are assumed to be reversing in the order of FIFO. Assumed to be reversing in the order of FIFO அப்படினு ஒரு பாயிண்ட் சொன்னேன். அப்போ என்னன்னா இந்த 120 reversed, no, it is out of the first 200. அப்போ deferred tax எப்படி கிரியேட் பண்ணனும்னா year 1 it is 200 originated, 120 poach within the tax holiday period. 80 into 30%, it is 24. Similarly, year 2 ku motta 300, entire 300 into 30%, 90. So it is 114. Correct? So this is the way we should be calculating, my dear friends, deferred tax. Year 1 ku 24, year 2 ku 90. I hope all of you understood this particular provision. Whatever we did, some 45 minutes, 1 hour there in classroom, we have just condensed here. So this is the tax holiday treatment, my dear friends. This is the tax holiday treatment. Hope you are understanding this. Clear? Easy da. So timing difference originated in tax holiday, reversal in tax holiday. Na? Adhika deferred tax vendam. No deferred tax required. Originated during tax holiday, reversal after tax holiday. Na? Adhika deferred tax not in the year of reversal, not in the end of tax holiday period, but in the year of origination. In the year of origination. That's concept. Idhukku suppose origination happen in first year, second year, third year and all na, and the FIFO concept will come. Suppose origination only in 1 year na, then it doesn't matter, my dear friends. So origination first year, second year, third year happens na, upon the FIFO concept should be applied. So reversal happening in the order of FIFO. Ivladhan concept for this deferred tax, my dear friends, for tax holiday period. Hope you are understanding that. Okay. Next, my dear friends, we have any difficulty na, please do ask, my dear friend. Aro detailed கேட்டாங்களே, detailed நடக்குதான்னு தெரியல, but acknowledge பண்ணுங்க, அதாவது வேணும்னா எக்ஸ்ட்ராவா கேளுங்க. Okay. MAT computation. As far as MAT computation is concerned, இந்த standard என்ன சொல்லுது, அதுக்கு முன்னாடி income tax provision says what அப்படின்னா, companies every year should calculate normal tax and MAT. Taxable income into normal tax rate is normal tax. Then this is what you want. No, thank you, super. Okay, so appo MAT enna the something called book profit into specific tax rate, which is 18.5%. in the rate will be given in the question, MAT rate kodukala 18.5 naavum vechukonga. So this is MAT rate. So normal tax you should calculate, MAT they should calculate. Idu AS22 illa, company is obligated to pay the higher of these two tax. Appo suppose taxable income was 3 lakhs and a book profit was 20 lakhs. So normal tax rate 30%, say 90,000. book profit வந்து 20 lakhs அப்படினா then 20 lakhs into 18.5%, it comes to ஒரு 3,70,000 அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறேன். So 3,70,000. அப்போ yeah, 115 JB says that you should pay whichever tax higher. So they should pay 3,70,000 tax. They should pay 3,70,000 tax. This tax is paid against the income of how much na? 3 lakhs. You should not say 20 lakhs income you paid this much illa. 3 lakhs the assessed tax. And the 3 lakhs kana normal tax 90, but they are telling as an alternative you pay this அப்படினு சொல்றான். Understood? So அப்போ current tax is 3,70,000. This is AS22 says. If you pay MAT, MAT is current tax. MAT is current tax. Then you should compute deferred tax. Because some students will have a doubt. Should I calculate now deferred tax? Because anyway 20 lakhs sukume I have paid tax. No, 20 lakhs you have not paid tax. You have paid tax only on 3 lakhs. And the 3 lakhs against a normal tax 90. Alternative government saying you pay 370. Inna bonga irke, bonga dhaan. So you are paying 3,70,000. Next day you should calculate deferred tax. Deferred tax rule enna, you should calculate deferred tax for the difference between the normal accounting income, taxable income and normal accounting income. Book profit will never be used. Book profit or profit irunda, that will be used only for computing MAT. That will be used only for computing MAT. Adhe madri. Appo suppose accounting income here was given. Accounting income was given as say 22 lakhs. Accounting income was given as 22 lakhs abdina, then you should be calculating the difference. What is the difference? Difference is 19 lakhs. Difference is 19 lakhs. And you should apply what rate? In the 30 or 18.5. Doubt venda. Deferred tax should always be measured by using normal tax rate. Deferred tax should always be measured by using normal tax rate. So it is 5,70,000. 5,70,000. Seri. Then deferred tax asset or liability. So accounting income 22. Taxable income 3 lakhs. So differences made taxable income less. So making taxable income less na, that is deferred tax liability. Deferred tax liability 5,70,000. Hope you are following this, everybody. Seri. Appo what you should understand na, tax expense will be, what will be the tax expense na? Current tax. How much current tax? So the MAT that you calculated 3,70,000. What is MAT? The specific rate as mentioned in the problem, or 18.5% on the book profit. Suppose sir question la varum accounting income and taxable income only available, but MAT rate is given sir, but book profit nennu kodukaliye appadina, book profit is equal to taxable income accounting income, accounts income da. So book profit is equal to accounting income. This much only you should be aware of. Very very simple. Compute normal tax. They will give all this information. Compute normal tax, compute MAT, and take whichever is higher. That amount should be paid. That amount should be paid. That is current tax. That is current tax. Then compute deferred tax for the difference between accounting income and taxable income. Ignore that book profit concept and all. Then compute the deferred tax. So deferred tax liability will be 5,70,000. So thereby it is 9,40,000 will be the tax expense. Suppose if they ask you something called what is MAT credit? What is the MAT credit? அப்படினு கேட்டா ஒண்ணும் இல்லப்பா, Normally I should have paid how much tax? 90,000. But government forcing me to pay 3,70,000. So, the excess payment, government will give you some credit in the subsequent year, future period. That is MAT credit, which is a separate income. So, MAT credit is you are paying 370 against the obligation of 90. So, thereby it is 2,80,000 is MAT credit. Like that simple computation, my dear friends. Hope you are following this, everybody. If the question gives something about MAT rate, then book profit into MAT rate is the MAT. Normal tax compute panni, whichever is higher should be paid. That is current tax. Then find out deferred tax as the difference between accounting income and taxable income. Accounting income and taxable income. Apply the normal tax rate. Apply the normal tax rate. No other confusions for MAT. Any doubts you have, please do raise. Because I don't want to complicate many things here. Simple level explanation. So, you are given with depreciation, interest, salary, provision, like that. So many items, sir. Accounts some number is there. Tax some number is there. So, then very simple. Take the difference. Permanent or temporary? Permanent. Temporary na, see whether it makes the taxable income more or taxable income less. If it is making taxable income more na, it is DTA, taxable income less na, DTL. That's all, my dear friends. Difference into tax rate is the DTL or DTA amounts. This much only. This is the first segment. Upon tax holiday period, the MAT, this much only you should aware of. Hope you're understanding. Depreciation more implied understanding that tax initial years higher ஆகும், subsequent year lower ஆகும். அப்ப lower பார்த்தா அது reversal year understand பண்ணணும். Higher அது origination year understand பண்ணணும். That's all. These are the maximum explanation. Hope all of you understood. Hemant இன்னொரு தடவை ஒரு acknowledgement கொடுத்துருங்க. Hope you understood this. அப்போ we can just conclude on to this standard also. 22 over. Definitely in the example ஒரு question வரணும். Super. My dear friends, AS 20 earnings per share. Earnings per share. So, basic EPS is equal to profit attributable to equity shares divided by weighted average number of equity shares. Profit attributable to equity shares is PAT minus preference dividend. Dividend tax, no, very remotely they are giving. Now they have taken all the adjustments away relating to dividend tax. Adanala, if they give na, you take it. Otherwise, you don't unnecessarily take it. So generally, AS20 provision prakaram, even the dividend tax attributable to preference dividend. So that is what the numerator number. It is not merely PAT minus preference dividend minus this number, my dear friends. All of you, okay. Similarly, last year preference dividend relating to the cumulative preference share deducted from current year profit for accounting na, accounts let it be deducted, but for this calculation you should take only current year dividend, because cumulative respective yearly would have been considered for EPS calculation whether declared or not. That's an extra provision I told. Test just be aware of this, my dear friends. This is numerator. Denominator, weighted average number of shares. Very simple. Number of ordinary shares multiplied by period weight. Number of ordinary shares multiplied by period weight. Number of, suppose these shares issued by 1st August. August 31st March where we find that we have 8 months. The number of ordinary shares multiplied by 8 by 12. 6 months outstanding 6 by 12. So on the period you should remember something called effective date. You should remember something called effective date, not actual issue date. And issue date given, some other date given, mostly that some other date effective date. So if time permitting you go through, otherwise not so important, my dear friends. But you should know number of months in between that should be considered. So So 2-3 different dates எல்லாம் கொடுத்தா then you should remember the date from which the resources has been obtained from issue of share. Resource used illa, you're issuing share for some particular resources, and the resource when you got on the date, the effective date is what we should understand, all of you. Anyway, இது basic understanding. இதுக்கு அப்புறம் we have major issue is relating to bonus rights. இது base பண்ணி தான் most of the times question will be tested. Bonus and right shares. Bonus shares na it should be considered even though bonus issued by 1st February 2022. Bonus issued na we should consider such shares as existing throughout current year as well as throughout previous year. Throughout current year as well as throughout previous year. Like that we should consider these bonus shares. So அதை base பண்ணி we should be adjusting the EPS of previous year. So example, my dear friends, it has been given this way: profit base of 21-22, 22-23. It has been given as 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs. Now number of ordinary share. So here it is 2 lakhs. So here we had opening 2 lakhs. Bonus. It is 1 for 4 during 22-23. 1 for 4 during 22-23, like that given. About how to calculate EPS na basic EPS of 21-22 la it is 10 lakhs by 2 lakhs da, it is rupees 5 da. There you don't bring the bonus. This is basic EPS. Next 22-23 reporting la you will report basic EPS as 15 lakhs divided by bonus 1 for 4 na it is 50,000 bonus, so it is 2.5 lakhs. Even though bonus date was given, ignore bonus date, it is existing throughout the year, so it is rupees 6. And we'll also report adjusted basic EPS. So we are telling this bonus of 50,000 share not only existed in the current year but also existed in the previous year, so it is 2.5. And we are telling this EPS which was reported as 5 in the last year should be read as 4 rupees. This is the impact of bonus. Hope you remember this. இதெல்லாம் காப்பி அடிக்கிறதுக்கு ட்ரை பண்ண வேணா, லிசன் தான் பண்ணணும். ஓகே, ஸோ இதோட நோட்ஸ் எடுத்து அப்புறமா வந்து அடுத்த எக்ஸாமுக்கு இல்லை, இது சும்மா அப்படியே ரீகால், நான் தான் சும்மா எழுதுறேன்னு தவிர நீங்கள் பார்த்துக்கோங்க, எழுதலாம் ட்ரை பண்ணாதீங்க. ஓகே, ஸோ ப்ரொசீடிங் ஃபர்தர், இட் இஸ் நாட் டெஃபினெட்லி ஃபார் த நெக்ஸ்ட் எக்ஸாம், இட் இஸ் டெஃபினெட்லி ஃபார் த கரண்ட் எக்ஸாம். இதுக்கப்புறம் நீங்கள் மறந்துடலாம், இதெல்லாம் என்னால் பாஸ் பண்ணுவீங்க. ஸோ இது வந்து போனஸ் இம்பேக்ட். we have something called bonus element in rights issue. Bonus element in rights issue. What are we telling now? So how we have bonus which was separated and we are telling bonus was existing throughout current year, throughout previous year. Similarly, the standard says rights issue la some hidden bonus is included. That hidden bonus should be separated and we should say it was existing throughout current year and throughout previous year. That's the basic concept of bonus element in rights issue. All the rights issue, all the subsequent rights issue will not have bonus. Only if the rights issue was made at a price less than market price, we have bonus element. Otherwise, we do not have bonus element. Okay, va? So every rights issue does not have bonus element if the rights issue made at a price less than market price. Okay. But if you have such a situation, what we should do now? We should find out something called bonus element to be used in calculation of weighted average number of equity share. This affect denominator, not numerator. Weighted average should be computed by using bonus element, which is fair value divided by theoretical exercise price. Group 1 discuss பண்ண அதே concept, valuation of right, அதுக்கு we applied this theoretical exercise price. So you know what is theoretical exercise price? This has to be given in the question. Fair value should be given in the question. Theoretical exercise price is net worth prior to rights, net worth prior to rights plus proceeds from rights divided by the total number of shares, total number of shares after rights. Example சொல்லுங்க சார், அதை வச்சு டக்குன்னு நான் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணிக்கிறேன். சார், by 1/4/2022. We had 6 lakh shares. We had 6 lakh shares by 1/8/2022. So rights issue 1 for 4 at rupees 120. 1 for 4 at rupees 120. Fair value on that date was 160. Fair value on the date was 160. So இதுதான் வந்து terms. இப்போ we need to calculate this particular vains. We should calculate vains for 22-23. 22-23 we should calculate vains. So how do you calculate? So we are understanding first of all it is theoretical extract price. Step number 1, theoretical extract price. Existing wealth is 6 lakhs into rupees 160. இதுதான் existing wealth. So 6 lakh shares we have, market price 160. அதுதான் existing net worth. Then proceeds is you are going to issue how many shares? 1,50,000 share at rupees 120. At rupees 120. So this is the new proceeds divided by 7.5 lakh shares. After this issue you will have 7.5 lakhs. அப்போ இதுதான் theoretical extract price. I told you can also calculate using this terms of rights. 4 into 160, 640 plus 120, 760 divided by 5. 760 divided by 5, 152. Okay, 152. Like that we can calculate, or this total calculation also you can do. 152 rupees is the theoretical extract price. Bonus element is equal to 160 fair value divided by theoretical extract price, and we got this as யாராவது கட்ட calculator யூஸ் பண்ணி calculator யூஸ் பண்ண தப்பு இல்லை, notebook பேனா தான் வேண்டாம். So it is 1.052 is the bonus element. Okay, 1.053 sir approximate பண்ணா எல்லாரையும் ப்ராப்பரா approximate பண்ண சொல்லியிருக்கேன். Okay, so 1.053. சரி, இப்போ what we should do na, we should calculate vains. How to calculate vains? Opening shares it is 6 lakhs into bonus element 1.053 into the period outstanding till the rights which is 4/12 plus after the rights total number of shares 7,50,000 into 8/12. Idhila you should not apply bonus element because this includes already everything. Logically we already explained for 1 hour 2 hours in the classroom. So இதுதான் computation of vains. So we are telling that bonus will be applicable on opening shares also, and that should be considered for that particular 4 months. Suppose by you multiplying with 1.053 we know the concept. You are including 6 lakhs as well as bonus on 6 lakhs for 4 months. 750 la ellame included, they are including for 8 months. Like that this is the computation. So opening shares into bonus element into period up to rights plus total shares into remaining period by 12. Like that we should be calculating, my dear friends. All of you, idu vains. Using vains we should calculate EPS. Profit will be given divided by vains will give you EPS. Understood? Idu bonus element in rights issue. Diluted EPS romba simple. So you report something called basic EPS 4 rupees. No, the 4 rupees how did you calculate it? Base divided by vains. Ipo in future you have committed to issue some more shares without change in resources. Future the shares will increase pa. Profit I don't know what happens in future, but இதே profit future la vanda number of shares will increase and EPS is going to decrease. That information da diluted EPS. But we are not going to budget future profit. We are telling even if company maintains same profit, but this number of shares is going to increase because we already committed. Okay, so all committed shares are no, only those commitment without increasing resources. Very particularly 3 instruments should be considered: convertible debenture, convertible preference share capital, அதுக்கப்புறம் options. இந்த மாதிரி 3 instruments should be considered for computation of diluted EPS. அப்போ potential reduction from this EPS தான் we are understanding as diluted EPS. அப்போ how to compute this? Very simple pa. Same profit should be taken, but other change will be made due to savings in interest, savings in dividend. Suppose you are computing diluted EPS in relation to convertible debenture. Means what? Future debenture will become share. That's seri. Appa interest whatever I paid no longer is payable. Yes. So that is saving. So thereby and the pays already consider for basic EPS this pays plus savings in interest net of tax. Suppose 2 lakhs interest saved na tax rate 30% na how much we should consider savings? How much we should consider savings? 1,40,000 only. Super. So it is interest into 1 minus tax rate is what we should consider. So 2 lakhs into 70%. Like that. So savings in interest net of tax. If you have dividend, that also dividend based test pannadilla. So that way regular debenture question da bonds question only that should be added in the numerator. Denominator la gains plus that increase in number of shares. So which will give diluted EPS. But in the calculation la, if you got the answer as 4.12 na, then you should make a note that it shall not be reported because it is anti-dilutive. It is anti-dilutive. It shall not be reported. But if it is 3.9, 3.7, that should be reported. Then only it is diluted EPS. Like that we understand, my dear friends. In relation to options, means a commitment to issue shares at a price less than market price. That's the option. Not existing shareholders, some third parties, employees, etc. Now, in relation to option, we should find out something called bonus in option. In relation to option, there won't be any changes to numerator. So, number of options given. So, number of options pending on balance sheet date, it is 3 lakhs. Issue price rupees 60. Market price rupees 80. Abdina, then we'll find out something called bonus in option. 3 lakhs into concession by market price. Concession by market price. What is the concession? 80 rupees market price. You are issuing at 60. Market concession is 20 divided by market price 80. So it is 75,000 shares that we consider as bonus in option. So this should be simply added to denominator in computation of diluted EPS. If you have option, you should find out something called bonus in option. Simply add to denominator. Numerator, no change whatsoever. So you will be getting diluted EPS. So option or not, definitely it is dilutive only. Like that we understood about calculation of diluted EPS also. Another 7 hours chapter also completed. All of you? Okay. So how many standards over now? 20, 22, 24, 26, 29. 5 standards completed, my dear friends. 24 hours chapter over in 1 hour 20 minutes time. Okay. So we have AS19 leases. AS19 leases. So compulsion கிடையாது, ராமச்சந்திரன் சும்மா சொன்னேன். So in between ஏதாவது சாப்பிட்றதுக்கோ இல்லை எனர்ஜி இது பண்ணுற பூஸ்ட் பண்ணுறதுக்கோ இல்லை எனி அதர் பர்பஸுக்கோ போயிட்டு வரலாம், வீடியோ ஆஃப் பண்ணிட்டு போகலாம், எதுவும் கேட்க மாட்டேன். ஓகே ஃபைன். ஸோ AS19 லீசஸ். My dear friends, we know 4 problem areas. So we have finance lease, அதில் lessee, lessor, operating lease, lessee, lessor. So then we have sale and lease back transaction. Sale and lease back transaction. AS19 மட்டும் பொதுவா மிஸ் ஆகாம கொஸ்டின் வருது. Without any miss the questions are coming generally. இந்த தடவை ஷாக்கரே மிஸ் ஆகலாம். ஸோ அதான் விட்டுருங்க சார். எக்ஸ்பெக்டேஷன் வந்து ஐயோ மிஸ் ஆச்சு அப்படின்னா மைண்டில் அது ஏற்றிக்காதீங்க. ஒரு 10% தான் we are giving weightage to expected questions and all. மற்றபடி all the chapters are coming, all the chapters can come, nothing is shocker. So never get into a frame of mind that ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி சொல்லும் போதே எனக்கு கஷ்டமாக இருக்கும். ஏன்னா அது உடனே எக்ஸாம் கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர் பார்த்து இதை பார்த்து ஒன்று ஷாக்காரனா அது நீ நெகட்டிவ்ஸ் கொண்டு வர. எல்லாமே ஒரு ஃபஸ்ட்டு ஒரு ஹாப்பியாக எடுத்துக்கணும். இன்ஃபேக்ட் நீ வந்து நம்ம எதிர்பார்த்த 10ல் 1 வந்துருச்சுன்னு சந்தோஷப்படணும். ஸோ இட் இஸ் நாட் லைக் நோ எக்ஸாம் ஹாலில் உட்காந்து கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர் பார்த்தோன்னா ஐயோ இது வரலையா அப்படின்னு ஒரு நெகட்டிவ்ஸை கொண்டு வராது. ஒரு எனர்ஜி இருக்கணும், வைப்ஸ் இருக்கணும், அதெல்லாம் நல்லா பாசிட்டிவ்ஸாக இருக்கணும். அண்டர்ஸ்டுடா? ஸோ சும்மா இது பார்த்தோம் கேஷ் ஃப்ளோ வரலையே அப்படின்ற மாதிரி ஒரு மைண்ட் தாட்டில் எந்த விதமான ஒரு 1% கூட நெகட்டிவிட்டி வரக்கூடாது. அந்த கொஸ்டின் பேப்பரை பார்த்து அப்படியே சிரிச்சு அந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் லுக் இருக்குல்ல, எப்படி பண்ணணும் ராமச்சந்திரன் தெரியும்ல, அந்த மாதிரி பண்ணணும். ஓகே, ஸோ கொஸ்டின் பேப்பரை பார்த்த உடனே அதோட ஒரு அஃபெக்ஷன் கொண்டு வரணும், ஒரு லவ் அண்ட் அஃபெக்ஷன் பயங்கரமாக கொண்டு வரணும். கொஸ்டின் பேப்பரோட ஏதோ ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரேஞ்சர் மாதிரியே கொஸ்டின் பேப்பரை வந்து எதிரி மாதிரியே ஃபுல்லாக வந்து பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கக்கூடாது. அந்த கொஸ்டின் பேப்பரோட அவ்வளோ கனெக்ட், டீப் கனெக்ட் கொண்டு வரணும். இதெல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு தெரியாது கிடையாது. ஓகே, ஸோ ஐ மீன் கொஸ்டின் பேப்பரோட கனெக்ட் பண்ண உங்களுக்கு தெரியாததில்லை, அதனால் அப்படி பண்ணுங்கன்னு சொல்கிறேன். ஓகே, ஒரு ஹாப்பினஸ் இருக்கணும். அந்த ஹாலில் ஒரே டென்ஷனு, சே இவன் இந்த கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர் ஏன்டா இருக்கிறோம் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி ஒரு ஃபீல் இல்லாமல் அது இருக்கிறதே வந்து அப்படியே ஹெவன் மாதிரி இது பண்ணணும். ஓகே, ஸோ அதுதான் சில விஷயங்கள்லாம் உங்களுக்கு அதை அப்படி கொண்டு வரணும்னு சொல்கிறேன். அந்த ஹாப்பினஸ், எனர்ஜி, பாசிட்டிவ் வைப்ஸ் இருந்தால் நிச்சயம் அந்த 3 hours டைம் போதே தெரியும், பயங்கர ஃபாஸ்ட்டாக எழுதிட்டே இருப்பீங்க. இதெல்லாம் வந்து வெறுப்போட இதெல்லாம் உட்காந்து யோசிக்கிறது, டைம் வேஸ்ட் பண்ண அப்படின்னு நிறைய நடக்கும். இல்லைன்னா அப்படியே ஃபுல்லி இன்வால்வ், ஒரு நிமிஷம் கூட வேஸ்ட் பண்ண மாட்டீங்க. ஸோ ப்ரொசீடிங் ஃபர்தர் மை டியர் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், AS19 லீசஸ். AS19 லீசஸ் இதில் lease is broadly classified into finance lease and operating lease. Okay, lease is broadly classified into finance lease and operating lease. What is the name of the standard sir அப்படின்னு கேட்குறாங்க. AS19 leases. இப்போதான் எழுதியிருக்கேன் AS19 leases. லீஸ். ஓஹோ, இதுக்கு முன்னாடி சொன்ன விஷயத்த கேட்குறீங்களா எந்த ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்னு? அடப்பாவி, அந்த ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிக்குதே சார் அப்படின்றாரு. விஷ்ணு இருந்தால் இன்னும் பயங்கரமாக சொல்லியிருப்பேன். ஓகே ஓகே ஓகே, நான் லீஸ் பற்றி கேட்கல சார், நீங்கள் ஏதோ லவ் அண்ட் அஃபெக்ஷன் சொன்னீங்களா, அது எந்த ஸ்டாண்டர்ட்னு கேட்குறாரு. ஓகே, லெட்ஸ் கண்டினியூ, நம்ம டைம் வேஸ்ட் பண்ணக்கூடாது. ஓகே, ஸோ என்னை விட்டால் நான் வந்து மறுபடியும் ரொம்ப டிஸ்ட்ராக்ட் ஆவேன், உங்களுக்கே தெரியும். ஸோ லெட்ஸ் நாவ் ஃபோக்கஸ். ஓகே, அரவிந்த் பாலா சேஸ் தட் சார் இது ஒரு ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் தான் சார், இது நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் சார், AS18 ரிலேட்டட் பார்ட்டி டிஸ்க்ளோஷர் சார் அப்படின்றார். கரெக்ட் தான். ஸோ ஃபினான்ஸ் லீஸ் மை டியர் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், ஃபினான்ஸ் லீஸ் a lease ஓட classification to 2 categories. A lease in which substantially all the risk and reward incidental to ownership is transferred. அதுதான் we are understanding as finance lease. Other than finance lease is operating lease. இதான் basic understanding. So இது பயங்கர வேகான definition. அதனால the standard have given certain circumstances in which the lease can be treated as finance lease. என்ன அப்படின்னா, the lease agreement provides for automatic transfer of ownership. At the end of the lease period, lessee automatically become the owner. He need not pay anything and simply wait for the completion of the lease period. முடிஞ்சோனே you become the owner. Super sir. Automatic transfer of ownership. Automatic ownership. கிளாஸ்லையாவது ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்காவது எழுதுனீங்க, இங்கே அது கூட இல்லை, ஏஓ தான். ஓகே, ஆட்டோமேட்டிக் ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபர் ஆஃப் ஓனர்ஷிப். ஓகே, செகண்ட் வந்து ஆட்டோமேட்டிக் ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபரில் நீ கொஞ்சம் பைசா கொடுத்தா உனக்கு தரேன், ஆனால் எவ்வளோனா இட் வில் பி a very very lower amount as compared to the fair value. So which means an option to purchase at a lower value, option to purchase at a lower fair value, option to buy my dear friends, option to buy at a lower fair value. So then the lease period covers major part of economic life. Lease period covers major part of economic life. Lease period வந்து major part of economic life. அதே மாதிரி the PV of lease payments covers substantial fair value of the asset. Substantial fair value of the asset. இந்த நாலு இல்லைனாலும் பரவாயில்ல, ஆனால் அந்த lease asset is of specialized nature that can be used only by lessee without modifications. So அது lesseeயால மட்டும்தான் யூஸ் பண்ண முடியும். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி specialized nature to be used only by lessee. அந்த மாதிரி 5 circumstancesல you may classify the lease as finance lease அப்படின்னு இந்த ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் சொல்லுது. So just sometime they will ask you based on this question, you can easily answer my dear friends. இந்த மாதிரி situation based வந்தா so easy to answer. Just write the line as per AS19 and the question or facts based பண்ணி you can simply mention that as finance lease. Okay, now proceeding for accounting my dear friends. Finance lease in the books of lessee. Finance lease in the books of lessee. இந்த எக்ஸாமினேஷனுக்கு லீஸ் வராமல் இருக்கிறது ஷாக்கராக இருக்கலாம், வந்தால் மோஸ்ட்லி ஃப்ரம் ஃபினான்ஸ் லீஸ் தான். ஸோ 2 தடவை ஆப்ரேட்டிங் லீஸ் வந்து, ஒரு தடவை டிஸ்க்ளோஷர்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஆப்ரேட்டிங் லீஸ், இன்னொன்று கொஸ்டின் பேஸ் ஆன் ஆப்ரேட்டிங் லீஸ் அப்படின்னு 2 தடவை ஆப்ரேட்டிங் லீஸை டெஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டான். ஸோ there is a chance finance lease can come. ஸோ இல்லை லீஸே வராமல் கூட போகலாம். எனிவே டசன்ட் மேட்டர். ஸோ லீஸ், அதனால் ஃபினான்ஸ் லீஸை கொஞ்சம் ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணுறோம். ஃபினான்ஸ் லீஸ் இந்த புக்ஸ் ஆஃப் லெஸ்ஸி பொறுத்தவரை ஃபஸ்ட்டு just financial numbers alone, I am just telling you, you will be committing to make some payments every year. We call it as annual lease payments. Then lessee will also commit another payment at the end of the lease period. We call this as guaranteed residual value. So இந்த ரெண்டு அமௌண்ட் தான் லீஸ்ல கமிட்டடான பேமெண்ட்ஸ். Suppose a question gives some information about contingent rent, variable rent and all, அதெல்லாம் சும்மா excluded, simply provide a note as per AS 19, it will be excluded in computation in the books of lessee அப்படின்ட்டு. Then how it be accounted? Respective yearly expense, respective yearly income by lessor, respective yearly expense of lessee அப்படின்னு will be booking. சரி, இந்த ரெண்டு நம்பர் தான் very very relevant. Now there will be a discount rate which may be given as discount rate or interest rate அப்படின்னு மென்ஷன் பண்ணலாம். இன்னொரு புது டெர்மினாலஜி interest rate implicit in lease அப்படின்னு சொன்னாலும் discount rate. That's all. I don't want to bring too detailed concept behind it and all. So whatever rate mentioned, and the rate we should be discounting. So these two numbers using this discount rate, so they will also definitely give term annual 1 year this much. How many years also they will be mentioning? Definitely lease period will be mentioned. So in the four information are relevant. The four information are relevant, my dear friends, for accounting in the books of lessee. So what we should do now? Sir, I am paying 2 lakhs for a period of 4 years. Then guarantee residual value I will be paying for 80,000. So what I should do now? In the 2 lakhs into annuity factor for 4 years plus 80,000 into PV factor of year 4 should be considered. So this is the amount at which it should be recognized in the books of lessee. Sometimes this computed number, if it is more than fair value, there is another number which is called fair value then recognition will be restricted to fair value, which is very very remote simply they will give fair value. அப்படி கொடுத்தா it will be restricted to fair value. It will be restricted to fair value. This you should remember, my dear friends. Otherwise this discounted value should be the value of asset and liability. So lessor, like that we make the first entry to this number, my dear friends. So annual lease payments which is discounted by using annuity factor, and particular year cash flow. Why annuity factor? Because 2 lakhs 2 lakhs 2 lakhs 2 lakhs 2 lakhs இருக்கு, should be discounted by using 4 different PV factor. அதுக்கு மேல we are multiplying with annuity factor and the concept. 80,000 is cash flow 1 year, so 80,000 into PV factor 4th year, like that we are considering, my dear friends. So we get this value asset to lessor. Then subsequent year what you should be computing interest. So it is what? Interest to lessor, lessor to bank. Interest will be transferred to P&L. This is the mechanical entries. If the question asks you entries, mostly they won't ask you entries. About computation of interest, they will ask you what is the amount at which asset is initially recognized. What is the finance charges? Interest illa finance charges in each of the year. Abdinu question keta, you will be computing finance charges like this, my dear friends. It is year, interest, installment, liability outstanding, year 0. You have this number initially computed. Then at the end of first year, and the discount rate used panni calculate interest. Then installment amount already given in the question. Annual lease payment. So opening balance plus interest minus installment reduced liability. Next year you will calculate interest on the reduced liability. Like that it should go on. Adala last year la mattum you should make some adjustment to the interest, because approximation differences will be adjusted against the last year interest. If last 4th year la mattum you should know it should be nil. Adukku edha mari adjust pannum. That's all you should be understanding, my dear friends, all of you. Appo in the books of lessee, this is the computation. I don't want to teach you more than this. So what all will be given? Lessee related problem. These 5 numbers will be there. ALP, GRV. So they are also giving UGRV. Ignore. Na sondra 5 thavara enna irundhalum ignore. ALP, GRV, interest rate, term, fair value. Fair value actually not required, but after discounting, if you find this number is more than fair value is less than, then the recognition is restricted to fair value. That much you should be understanding, all of you. This is from the perspective of lessee. This much only you should know. They will ask you initial recognition, they may ask you interest subsequently. This much in the books of lessee, all of you. Okay. Next, my dear friends, in the books of lessor, இதே மாதிரி தான் recognition. So computation will be the amount at which is initially recognized. They may ask you that terminology. What is that? Now the initially recognized amount is called net investment in lease. It is called net investment in lease. அது எப்படி சார்? இதே computation தான். Only thing is we'll discount ALP, GRV, also one more number called UGRV. They'll be discounting ALP, GRV, UGRV. And the discounted value தான் we call it as net investment in lease. And if they ask you finance income in each of the year, then the same table should be presented. Same table to be presented. But suppose the question asks you something called unearned finance income. Many times, most of the times the question coming from this area. Compute unearned finance income. Unearned finance income, you should be computing like this, my dear friends. It is gross investment in lease minus net investment in lease. Gross investment in lease minus net investment in lease. Suppose in our example, we have 2 lakhs for a period of 4 years. What is gross investment in lease in the example? Example. So we had 2 lakhs in the number. So what is gross investment in lease? What is gross investment in lease? I am also giving RV 1,30,000. RV 1,30,000. So in this example, can you tell me what is gross investment in lease? RV 1,30,000. RV 1,30,000. Yeah, very good, Shruti, super. So Manishwari marandiradinga adu though we say addition of these three, but இது for a period of 4 years, no. அப்ப 2 lakhs into 4 இது மறக்க கூடாது. 8 lakhs plus 80,000 plus 50,000. இங்க கொடுத்திருக்கிறது RV. கேர்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கணும். Suppose UGRV ன்னு கொடுத்தா அதை அப்படியே ஆட் பண்ணணும். Here RV given. நம்ம ஆட் பண்ண வேண்டிய இந்த RV includes GRV. So we should now consider further UGRV only. So 2 lakhs into 4, 8 lakhs plus 80,000 plus UGRV 50,000. அதுதான் gross investment in lease. அதே நம்பர் டிஸ்கவுண்ட் பண்ணது net investment in lease. Difference is called unearned finance income. When the lease commences, the difference is that as on that day, this is income, finance income, so far not earned. Only on time expiry it will be earned. That is what we call it as unearned finance income. UFI, unearned finance income. All of you. So these are all the computation in the books of lessor, my dear friends. Nothing beyond this. Suppose ALP, GRV. So they may give UGRV or they may give RV. If they give UGRV, take that amount as it is. If they give RV, then RV minus GRV, UGRV, you should be knowing. That's all. Simple things only tested. So you should know how to compute GIIL, NIIL, and unearned finance income. So lease வந்து ரொம்ப tough எல்லாம் கிடையாது. Though we might have taken 8 hours, the easy area தான். Simple questions only will coming. So don't ignore that particular lease chapter, my dear friends, all of you. ஒரே ஒரு small twisting question என்ன I noticed in mock test paper RTPN, I don't know. So question is telling like this, my dear friends, the cost of the asset, some number is given. So some number was given, cost of the asset is equal to 9 lakhs. Then they are giving, my dear friends, lease was structured in such a manner that at the discount rate of 12%, at the discount rate of interest rate of 12%, the lease payments discounted equal to 9 lakhs. lease payments if discounted is equal to 9 lakhs. Understood? That is, this is the interest rate implicit in lease given. Interest rate implicit in lease, like that given. Then the question also giving, my dear friends, that UGRV, unguaranteed residual value, they are giving 1 lakh. Unguaranteed residual value, it is 1 lakh. Question enna, compute unearned finance income. Unearned finance income. Compute unearned finance income. இப்படி information இருக்கு. How to compute unearned finance income? Unearned finance income, first we require what? Gross investment in lease. How to calculate gross investment in lease? Annual lease payment into term. Term also given. Say term 4 years. Appo annual lease payment into 4 plus, if GRV is separate one number is not there, no GRV. GRV is separate one number is not given, that is no GRV because that is contractually agreed. So plus UGRV unguaranteed residual value. The residual value is what we should understand. So like that, this amount should be GIAL. This amount is given, UGRV given, term of 4 years given, but they have not given what? ALP. They are not given ALP. How to find out this? Adu therinjadha we can find out GIAL. Adu therinjadha we can find out GIAL. So how to proceed அப்படினா? So it becomes like this, my dear friends. FM knowledge should be used. What is FM knowledge? That by discounting these components, it should be equal to ALP into annuity factor plus UGRV into PV factor should be equal to this 9 lakhs. This number you know as 1 lakh into PV factor you calculate, my dear friends. That number you know la. Appo it becomes like this, ALP plus ALP into annuity factor. So this number you will calculate. Imagine that is around 75,000 na, that you take it the other side. So later on you will get ALP into annuity factor is equal to the 9 lakhs minus, suppose this is 75,000 na, minus 75, you get 8,25,000. Then 8,25,000, you tell 8,25,000 divided by annuity factor will give you that ALP. Then once that ALP is computed, then ALP into the term plus that UGRV will give you gross investment in lease. Then that the net investment in lease, net investment will be 9 lakhs only. So you will be getting unearned finance income. இப்படி ஒரு twist பண்ண ஒரு problem இருக்கு. ஒரு twist அங்க. Hope you're understanding. So reverse manner of computing ALP. ALP given, how to find out discounted value we know. Inga the discounted value given and the UGRV given. So we should find out the annual lease payments. So hope you're understanding the way in which we have computed. Understood? Okay. So adu oru possible question. So இதுதான் வந்து counting for finance lease in the books of lessee and lessor related computations, my dear friends. Easy area only. So next, operating lease. I don't want to focus much about operating lease this time, but still operating lease now, my dear friends, you know that the lease payments will be recognized as expense. Lease payments will be recognized as expense in the pattern of economic benefits. In the pattern of economic benefits. If the economic benefit pattern is not determinable, then it is equal. That's all, my dear friends. So which means, my dear friends, year 1, year 2, year 3 payment is 6 lakhs, 3 lakhs and 5 lakhs. So it is 14 lakhs. Year 4 kuda 2 lakhs, 9, 14, 16 lakhs. 4 years we are paying 16 lakhs payment. Ipo, suppose it has been understood as production in each of the year will be like 4 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 2 lakh, 1 lakh. This is the expected production in units, like that given abdina. Then the 16 lakhs should be expensed or booked as income by lessor, expense by lessee in the proportion of 4:3:2:1. Suppose this is not given abdina, then it has to be booked equally. About how, sir? Suppose this is 4:3:2:1 na, 16 lakhs into 4 by 10. So it will be 6.4 lakhs for first year. About how do you think, what is the entry you will be making? It is lease rent debit 6.4 lakhs. Then to bank 6 lakhs. This is committed. Bank la idha agreed. Or payment is agreed this much only. So balance will be the lease equalization account. Lease equalization account, which will be shown either as asset or as liability. Like that you should remember, my dear friends, all of you. Either way, in the productions not given na, then this should have been booked equally. Our first year expense will be how much? Suppose the production not given, first year 4 lakhs. Our entry will be lease rent 4 lakhs. To bank 6 lakhs. The agreed amount is to be paid. Balance is lease equalization. In the concept, you should remember, all of you. The operating lease, nothing more than this. So lessee will book it as expense, lessor will book it as income. No discounting, no GRV, UGRV concept for operating lease. Sale and lease back. Shall we? Sale and lease back. Sale and lease back. My dear friends, in case of sale and lease back, what we are going to learn is not accounting for lease. When you sell one asset and if I am going to leasing it back, the profit or loss arising from this sale, how to be accounted, that's all. If you sell one asset and you're going to take that asset on lease, then that at the time of sale you're going to get some profit or loss. How to account that profit or loss? That alone we are going to discuss in this topic. Not about lease back. Lease back is again classified into operating lease, finance lease, and normal accounting will be followed. So thereby when we say sale and lease back, it's not focus on lease back, it's focus on sale. Generally profit on sale of any asset, property, plant and equipment accounted as per AS 10. But if you are going to sell one building and you're going to leasing it back na, and the building length and the profit or loss should be accounted as per AS 19. Sorry, what is that accounting, sir? Very complex accounting. No, it says only two options. Either recognize the profit or loss immediately or deferred and amortized. Either immediate profit or loss, illa it is having further lease, no. Upon the profit or loss, you take it to balance sheet. Every year you bring it to P&L over the period of the lease. Over the period of the lease. So which means either immediately or deferred and amortized. This much only. Simple. Simple. Simple down. So, adala standard says that if it is finance lease, na, you sold the asset and you took the asset on lease and you know it is finance lease. Indirectly they will tell asset which was originally having a life of 10 years. After 5 years it was leased for a lease period of 5 years. அப்படி சொன்னாலே அது finance lease தான். Because remaining life 5 தான். Total lease period 5 years. So naturally it is understood as finance lease. They need not tell you that. So on the lease la, I mean if it is finance lease na, then profit or loss on sale is deferred and amortized. Deferred and amortized. So if it is finance lease, sold asset, took the asset on lease, in my lifelong adha naan da use pannuven, only thing is I will pay lease payment. In that case profit or loss, so it is deferred and amortized. So when you make the sale entry, so book value was 5 lakhs, sold for 6 lakhs, entry will be bank 6 lakhs, to asset 5 lakhs, to deferred profit 1 lakh. This goes to balance sheet. Then over the lease period, it will be taken back to P&L. This is concept. Hope you are understanding this. All of you, profit or loss. If it is operating lease abdina, then to some extent we feel it is a genuine transaction. Appo we feel we can allow it to be recognized immediately also. Profit or loss and sale of asset, immediately take it to P&L, we'll tell. But sometimes we'll tell, no, immediately mudiyade, you deferred and amortized. Now, appo, when it is deferred and amortized, if it is operating lease, we want to check one point. Is the sale took place at fair value? Is the sale took place at fair value? If the sale is happening at market price, no problem, then profit or loss. Sir, if both are equal, how come profit or loss, sir? Profit or loss is not difference between sale value and market price. Profit or loss is difference between book value and sale value. So thereby you will have profit or loss, and the profit or loss immediately recognized. No problem in that. So first sold and you are taking on operating lease, no, about genuine da. Then you are sold at the market price, pakka genuine da. So profit or loss immediately recognized. Seri. Ipo sale check பண்ணும்போது you understood sale prices less than fair value. Sale price less than fair value. Market la 20 lakhs, you are selling for 18 lakhs. Appo then what we understand na, adiliyum profit situation possible, loss situation possible, because profit or loss is always difference between book value only. Appo book value here 15 lakhs, market price was 20 lakhs, but you sold for 18 lakhs. Appo in the situation la you are getting what? Profit. Profit vandaduna, no problem, it is recognized immediately. Inga enakku doubt about loss da. When you intentionally selling less than market price na, doubt alla loss mela da. Profit vanda, if you are getting profit na, genuine profit only, it has to be accounted immediately. Loss vanda, conditional answer pa, that's all. If the loss is compensated, this situation will not be given to you and all. You should give conditional answer, I am telling you. In the loss you are incurring, no, what loss? 20 lakhs by you are selling for 18 lakhs, you are incurring a loss of 2 lakhs. In the 2 lakhs loss, that counterparty gives you compensation in the form of concessional lease rent. Again you are taking on lease, you are getting lower lease rent na, then that is getting compensated. So if there is no concessional lease rent na, no compensation. So concessional lease rent, no concessional lease rent. So if there is concessional lease rent na, loss, deferred and amortized. Deferred and amortized. No concession lease rent na, loss immediately recognized. Like that we should give conditional answer. Hope you are understanding this, all of you. Sale price vandu greater than fair value. Market price 20 na, you are selling for 25 lakhs. Adu eppadi mudiyum? Edho dillalangadi. So thereby what we are telling is that the profit over and above this fair value should be deferred and amortized. Anga conditional kadayadu. Profit over and above. So which means, my dear friends, the book value was 18 lakhs, fair value was 20, but you are selling for 25. So our total profit how much? 7 lakhs. Total profit 7 lakhs. Adala, out of that 7 lakhs, 5 lakhs is deferred and amortized. 2 lakhs profit immediately. That's all the standard says, my dear friends, all of you. Anna, before applying this particular profit or loss computation in a sale and lease back transaction, you should check two values. Which two value na? Book value, fair value check pannu. If the fair value is already less, book value 18 lakhs, fair value is only 17 lakhs abdina, before finding profit or loss on sale, you should book an impairment loss of 1 lakh. You should book a loss of 1 lakh immediately. Abdino a point. Understood? So this is the points you should be applying, my dear friends. So sale and lease back la what to be done, we understood. And before sale and lease back, check this book value and fair value. So this is the first pannu. So adala if fair value is already less na, even before sale profit or loss, you should recognize impairment loss. Understood? This is sale and lease back transaction. So another 8 hours chapter also completed, my dear friends. So now we have completed 6 standards. 6 standards now over in 40 minutes. Remaining standard we have to complete. Shall we? Ana periya 3 standard 19, 20, 22. Next, 18. Don't expect too much, pa. Vignesh irukingalaanu therla. Related party disclosure. Related party disclosure. Standard says relationship should be disclosed. Then transaction happened between relationship also should be disclosed. Relationship covered by the standard, my dear friends, between holding and subsidiary. Investor and associate. Venturer and joint venture. Venturer and joint venture. Then, my dear friends, the individuals having control or significant influence. Key management personnel, and here their relatives also, and their relatives. Key management personnel and their relatives. Adukaprom two entities are related. Entity 1, entity 2 related because of these people. Entity 1, entity 2 related because of persons in 3 or 4 having influence. Appo in the idu 3 idu 4 nu vechikren. In the 3 or 4 person having influence in 2 entities na, then those 2 entities also related parties we are telling. And the mari 5 types of relations, my dear friends. All of you. Okay, then we have also told you through subsidiary relationship will be extended, but through associate relationship cannot be extended. Appo a problem that had come was, see, A Limited holding 70% in B Limited, 70%. B Limited holding 51% in C Limited, 51. D Limited holding 49% in C Limited. இதுதான் வந்து அந்த holding charts. அப்ப A Limited க்கு who are all related parties, my dear friends? For A Limited, who are all related parties? A Limited ஓட view pointல who are all related parties அப்படினா, so B, how B, what relationship? Subsidiary. C is also a subsidiary. B வந்து direct subsidiary, C வந்து indirect subsidiary. Like that we are understanding, my dear friends, all of your relationship. அதே மாதிரி B Limited view pointல who is related parties and what is the relationship they are asking. Who is related party, what is the relationship they are asking. So we are understand that it is A Limited related party. Not only like lower level மட்டும் relation கிடையாது, ஏவும் தான் relation. We call that as parent company and C as subsidiary company. C as subsidiary company. Like that we have relation, my dear friends. All of you. Okay. Similarly, my dear friends, C Limited. So C Limited who are all related parties? C Limited who are all related parties? C Limited A-வும் தான் related parties, B-யும் related parties, D-யும் related parties. So how the relationship அப்படினா, A வந்து it is ultimate parent. இதுக்கு பேரு ultimate parent. B வந்து parent. D யார் அப்படினா associate சொல்லக்கூடாது. என்னோட investor, நான் தான் associate. அங்க arrow mark வேற மாதிரி இருக்கு. So thereby D have invested in C. Suppose C invested in D na, then the D will become related party to A also. Had the investment made by C in D na, then this D will be related even to A, B also. Now why this D is not relating to A, not relating to B na? It is not C who is having in D, it is D who is having in C. Hope you are following this, all of you. Appo relationship la, so inga D வந்து you don't call it as associate, you call that person as D oda viewpoint la enta invest பண்ணவன் investor அப்படின்ட்டு. Hope you are following this. Similarly, D oda viewpoint la who is related party? D Limited who is related party? D Limited who is related party na C மட்டும்தான். C என்ன relation? They are asking the name of the party and relationship. So C Limited associate, exactly. we'll say associate, the only party which is related, and we call this associate. Hope all of you understanding this, everybody. This is the 5 set of relationship, my dear friends. Adukaprom we told you, my dear friends, about certain exceptions, adukaprom exemptions. So if the disclosure overrides the principle of confidentiality, I need not disclose. But banks are exempted from disclosing details of customers. So that we understood. Adhe mari consolidation la transaction between parent and subsidiary need not be disclosed because anyway that is already eliminated. Like that we told exemption. Exception enna, 2 companies because of common common director. Common director. Just because of one director is common, they should not be considered related parties, my dear friends. So, and the director la kuda non-executive directors vandu in the existing company is not related party. All of you, remuneration paid to non-executive directors should not be considered as related party transaction. Should not be considered as related party transaction. Because sometimes they will ask you like this. Okay, anyway, 2 companies. Adhe mari co-venturers in the same joint venture. A and B, we are co-venturers in this joint venture. I am related to joint venture, but we two are not related. Like that we told. Adhikapram, those who influence in their normal activities, bank, customer, supplier, in the normal dealings, we are having influence without holding in shares, without holding in voting rights. I have influence. Avangalu relationship illa. Adu exceptions. Then disclosure requirements. Disclosure, my dear friends, relating to transaction, disclosure is required only if the transaction occurs during the existence of relationship. Relating disclosure of transactions required only if the transaction occurred during the existence of relationship. Appo 1st April to 1st December holding subsidiary relationship. Thereafter relationship breakup aidichu. So then transaction took place, sales took place in February of next year. February of next year. Na appo in the transaction need not be disclosed. Transaction need not be disclosed. Relationships are rendu vishayam disclose pannom. One relationship, innone transaction. Transaction vendam. Adu control ah irukattum, influence ah irukattum. Transaction should be disclosed only if the transaction occurred during the existence of relationship. Whether it is control or influence, doesn't matter. But as far as relationship is concerned, if there is control then even if there is no transaction, and the controlling relationship has to be disclosed. If it is control and the controlling relationship has to be disclosed even if you don't have transaction. But if it is influence then you need to disclose relationship only if you have transaction, and that too the transaction occurred during the existence of relationship. Appo in this example disclosure required on keta, yes, disclosure required because the relationship is through holding and subsidiary. Appo disclosure is required. So full disclosure illa only relationship only relationship because transaction occurred outside the relationship period. Outside the relationship period. Understood? Iduve it is not holding subsidiary, investor associate abdina. So even though 9 months they had relationship, but transaction took place during the next 3 months our transaction need not be disclosed, relationship need not be disclosed. Understood? This is AS18. This is AS18, my dear friends. Okay, so all the other doubts you can ask. With that, we are completing AS18. My dear friends, as far as AS17 is concerned, segment reporting is concerned. Normal question that comes from segment reporting is selection of segments. Selection of segments. Adum primarily based on this 10% threshold. 10% threshold. That so many segments I have. A, B, C, D, E, F, so many segments I have. So when I have so many segments, ellame report panna vendam, select panni few segments to be reported. Selection we have 10% threshold, which is revenue threshold, result threshold, asset threshold. Upper revenue given, segment revenue of various segments given. 100 lakhs, 200 lakhs, like that so many revenue given. What you should do, revenue should be fully added. Imagine that comes to around 1800 lakhs, 1800 lakhs. Apply 10%, you are getting 180 lakhs. Whichever segment satisfying that 180 or more, na, that is selected for reporting purpose. That is one rule. Adhe mari segment asset, like that so many numbers you will have. Imagine this comes to 3000 lakhs, apply 10%, it is 300 lakhs. Appo whichever segment is having 300 or more, na, then that will be selected. Result, idhula konjam careful ah irukanum. Question will give you net profit. You should identify profit making segment, loss making segment separately and take the profit order total, loss order total, and we should take out of this aggregate profit or loss whichever is higher in absolute terms. It is not that 500 lakhs or negative 800 whichever is higher. அப்படினா 500 lakhs higher னோணும். அந்த நெகட்டிவ் எல்லாம் எடுக்க கூடாது. 500 or 800 whichever is higher. அப்போ அந்த 800 னா 800. Like that you should take profit or loss whichever is higher in absolute terms you should take. Suppose இது 500, இது 800 lakhs loss அப்படினா you should take 800. அதுல 10% should be applied 80. Now whichever segment, whether profit or loss has a number 80 or more, na, that segment will be selected. Then finally you should identify as per this. So you should take all the segments intersection as error. No, there is no need for cumulative condition. Even if one condition satisfied, that segment is considered for reporting purpose. Based on that you will write. So by revenue B, U, C, U selected. By asset D is selected. By result E selected. So thereby B, C, D and E selected for reporting purpose. Like that you should write. We have given few other things. Previous year reportable na, this year reportable. Then 175% threshold. That examination question varadu. This is the examination question. Hope you understood this. All of you. Inter-segment transfer pricing policy. Or question. That is standard illada vishayam. Standard does not suggest any inter-segment transfer pricing policy. Standard says that management should devise a pricing policy and it should be consistently applied. So in the given case blah 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 thing, so the policy of transferring goods at cost minus 10%, less 10% can be accepted as correct if it is consistently applied and the same shall be disclosed. Abdinu question that also you remember, my dear friends, all of you. Mathematics, so many other things we discussed, no, adala vendam. So with this A17 already came, so it is very less chance only. That is why very less discussion, my dear friends, all of you. Sir, now we have 5 more standards, my dear friends. 4, 5, 7, 9, 14. 4, 5, 7, 9, 14. AS 4, 5, 7, 9, 14, my dear friends. 4, 5, 7, 9, 14. Okay. AS 14, accounting for amalgamation. The standard classifies amalgamation into 2 categories. Amalgamation in the nature of purchase, amalgamation in the nature of merger. Once it is classified as amalgamation in the nature of purchase, accounting we follow is purchase method. This is called purchase method. And here the accounting that we follow, it is called as pooling of interest method. About 2 theoretical questions can come out of this. One is, what are the conditions to be satisfied for amalgamation in the nature of merger? If it is not merger, it is purchase. That is how we understand. So there is no specific condition we have to satisfy and all. Every amalgamation deemed to be purchase, unless very clearly given these conditions satisfy. Above there are certain conditions, 5 plus 1 சொல்லலாம். 5 plus 1. In shareholders holding not less than 90% of face value of share capital of equity share capital of transferor company shall become shareholders in the transferee company by virtue of amalgamation, except the shares already held by the purchasing company or by its subsidiaries or by its nominees அப்படின்னு ஒரு ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் ஒரு தடவை படிச்சுட்டு போயிடுங்க எக்ஸாமுக்கு முன்னாடி tomorrow. Then such shareholders, consideration to such shareholder shall be given only in the form of equity shares, except for fraction cash can be used. Fraction cash can be used. Then all assets and liability shall become assets and liability. No adjustment should be made except for bringing uniformity to accounting policies. The business of the transferor company shall be intended to be carried on by the transferee company. If all these things are done, reserves and surplus shall be preserved as it is. அப்படின்னு 6 conditions, my dear friends. Remember, அதை படிச்சிருப்பாங்க. But if the question asks you, write short notes on pooling of interest method அப்படின்னா இந்த 6th questionல expected இதெல்லாம். அப்போ you should not write like these 5 conditions and all. If the amalgamation was classified as amalgamation in the nature of merger, the accounting method applied is called pooling of interest method. So under this method, all the assets and liabilities of transferor company shall be recognized as it is by the transferee company at the same value. But to bring uniformity to accounting policy, changes can be made. Then the difference between reserves and surplus shall also be taken in the books of transferee company. But before recognition of reserves and surplus, an adjustment shall be made to the extent of the following. The difference between the face value of share capital of transferor company and purchase consideration given, that amount shall be adjusted. So this accounting method you should write if it is pooling of interest method question. All of you, suppose they are asking write shorts on purchase method of accounting. It is an accounting method to be applied if the amalgamation is classified as amalgamation in the nature of purchase. All assets and liabilities of transferor company will be recognized. Assets and liability agreed to be taken over alone, recognized at fair values. Purchase the difference between purchase consideration and the net asset taken over will be recognized as goodwill or capital reserve. Like that you should be writing the accounting method, my dear friends. All of you, இதுதான் primarily AS14. Remember para 3G also, payments to members, preference shareholders and equity shareholders amount alone will be added as purchase consideration. Remember amalgamation absorption problem, read the problem. If the payments to members is well defined and quantified, the net payments method, otherwise net asset method. So PC based question also may possible, my dear friend. This is what potential questions of AS14, my dear friends. AS14, all of you. Any specific doubts that you have now, you can raise, my dear friends. Otherwise it's okay. So this is what only short notes on pooling of interest method. Illa kutti problem on to the purchase consideration calculation can come from AS14, testing the provisions of AS14. Okay, so the mock test papers la irukra amalgamation nature of merger problem la please solve, my dear friends. Okay, adhe mari internal reconstruction last 2-3 RTPs plus in the mock test papers idella solve பண்ணிட்டு போங்க. Then இப்போ remaining 4 standards, my dear friends. Sir, pooling interest method, assets and liabilities shall be valued at what price in alias கேக்குற alias get out இன்னும் முடியலையோ. So it is to be recognized book value. அதான்ப்பா கண்டிஷனே. pooling of interest methodல you don't have a right to value anything. All assets and liabilities should be recognized at the same value, book value of the transferor company. And the value as it is எழுதணும். You don't have any right to change any value. அதுதான் ஃபண்டமெண்டலே. Anyway, proceeding to next, AS9, revenue recognition. My dear friends, revenue classified into revenue from sale of goods, revenue from services, அதுக்கப்புறம் use of resources. அதில் we have interest, dividend and royalties. இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட், டிவிடெண்ட், ராயல்ட்டிஸ். இந்த மாதிரி 3 ரெவென்யூ. இந்த 3 ரெவென்யூக்கும் காமனான கண்டிஷன்ஸ், ஆல் த 3 ரெவென்யூக்கு காமன் கண்டிஷன்ஸ் என்னன்னா, completion of performance or performance completion, certainty in collection. சரி, நான் பெர்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணிட்டேன், பணம் வருமா? வரும். reliably measurable. All these 3 conditions satisfied na, you can recognize revenue. If though performance completion is over but there is some uncertainty collection na, then you should postpone the timing of revenue recognition. But once already recognized, subsequently condition satisfy agalana, appa can we reverse the revenue ana? No, then you have to create only provision, you should not reverse the revenue. Idella basic points, all of you. In relation to sale of goods, my dear friends, in relation to sale of goods, standard says significant risk and reward incidental to ownership is transferred. Significant risk and reward incidental to ownership is transferred. Okay, so in case of hire purchase based means, my dear friend, hire purchase transaction la when revenue can be recognized abdina, on signing the agreement, revenue can be recognized by the seller, not purchaser viewpoint, seller viewpoint la revenue can be recognized. We already seen in the hire purchase chapter, all of you. Hire purchase la on signing the agreement, revenue can be recognized only the moment hire purchase transaction is effective. Okay, ஒரு installment system transaction நடக்குது, அதுல ஒரு unique case study given that installment systemத்திலையும் normally revenue can be recognized upfront itself, but on the conditions enna, you keep paying in installment, only after you pay all the installment goods will be delivered. Oho, appo and the goods oda risk and reward you have never transferred. Agreement sign pannalum you have never transferred the risk and reward, my dear friends. In that case, the answer to that particular question says that so revenue can be recognized only after the delivery of the goods. So installment system, you have received first month, second month, third month installment, only when you receive all the installment you are going to deliver the goods now. Then answer to that question is only after delivery. So installment system generally on signing agreement, but if the delivery is to take place after paying all installment now, then only on payment, delivery of goods, revenue will be recognized, all of you. If it is consignment related transaction means only after sales by consignee, whatever goods not sold should be considered stock of the business, not stock of consignee. You know this, all of you. Seller return la only when the goods has been approved or time limit expired. So I've seen some question, either latest question the RTPO or mock test or theriyala. So seller return, so they have sold goods for 20 lakhs, time limit was given as 3 months, 15 lakhs approval already received, and they have already told these goods has been delivered on 1st December 2022. Totally goods delivered 20 lakhs with a time limit of 3 months to return the goods. Till 31st March 23, 15 lakhs goods approval received. Now how much should be the revenue recognition? Abdina 15 lakhs 5 lakhs how much abdina? It is 20 lakhs, because and the remaining 5 lakhs though approval not received but time limit expires, so they may definitely you can account it as revenue, my dear friends, all of you. Okay, suppose so many manufacturing companies gives goods to distributors, dealers. Ipo Bajaj dealers appadila irukla, so it is that directly manufacturing company gives that bike or car to the dealers. And the mari when they are dealing the goods abdina should properly look into the substance of the contract, because many times they are acting only as an agents. Suppose you check pannu, so suppose you should give conditional answer. So if the significant risk and reward already transferred na, then revenue has to be immediately recognized once the goods are sent. Otherwise, it should be recognized only when the sale is made by the distributor. So look into the substance of that agreement. Then there is a sale and repurchase agreement. Sale and repurchase agreement. அந்த கேசஸ்ல no revenue shall be recognized. It's a financing arrangement. It's a financing arrangement. I sold goods now. Also simultaneously I have written after 1 year I will buy it for so and so value. Like that sale and repurchase agreement na adu sale illa. Like that the standard explains, my dear friends. These are all special transactions that has been given relating to sales. Hope you are following this. Relating to services, though we discuss so many small funny examples and all, other base panel question won't come, my dear friends. So if the question construct a question like this, that the service is divisible into various stages of completion, na you can follow proportionate completion. If it is not divisible, na you should follow completed contract method. Then you have interest na recognition on time accrual basis. Dividend na only on declaration basis. Interim dividend na only on receipt basis. Then royalty means then accrual on the basis of agreement. Accrual on the basis of agreement. Adu puriyaliye, because it may be accrued based on time. Monthly 50,000 royalty ba, then time. No. Royalty based on number of books printed. No. Royalty based on number of books sold. And the accrual on the basis of terms of agreement, you should be recognizing it. All of you. It is performance. But just because of some accrual is happening, but if there is some uncertainty about collection, then you cannot recognize revenue. All the conditions should be satisfied. Accrual is only performance completion. So number of books printed. But there is this particular person is committing huge default in paying royalty to me. So in that case, uncertainty is there, then I should not recognize revenue. All the conditions should be cumulatively satisfied for recognition of revenue, my dear friends. All of you, this AS9 revenue recognition concept. Understood? So, 3 condition டக்குன்னு எழுதி அதை ரிலேட் பண்ணி ஆன்சர் பண்ணும், அவ்வளவுதான். 3 condition: performance completion, certainty in collection, reliably measurable. இந்த condition based பண்ணி எழுதணும், my dear friends. Okay. AS7 significant ஆன ஒரு question came in the last examination, can come again also, my dear friends. So profit or loss equal to total contract revenue into percentage of work completed minus actual cost is the profit or loss of 1 year. So what we should do abdina, we are generally computing cumulative percentage of work. So thereby always will be computing as cumulative revenue minus past revenue. Cumulative revenue minus past revenue. So you should not calculate like this. First year 30% completed, second year 40%. Abdi illa. We always compute on a cumulative percentage completion. So we always find out cumulative revenue. Cumulative revenue minus past revenue will give you current year revenue. Actual cost of current year will give you profit or loss of respective period. Hope you remember. Percentage of work completion is cost incurred till date. Abdina cumulative cost divided by estimated total cost. And the estimated total cost may be given directly as estimated total cost or cost incurred till date, apart further cost of completion. You should know conceptually denominator should be estimated total cost. At the base panni, you should find out percentage of work completion. All of you. So like this only profit or loss is accounted in AS7. ஒரே ஒரு பாயிண்ட் என்னன்னா, suppose if the outcome of the contract is loss, if the outcome of the contract is loss, then entire loss shall be recognized immediately by creating provision for total loss illa further loss. Creating provision for further loss. For example, cost incurred till date. Cost incurred till date. It is 40 lakhs. Estimated further cost. Estimated further cost. It is 60 lakhs. Contract revenue. Contract revenue. 90 lakhs. Contract revenue 90 lakhs. அப்போ what is the profit or loss for first year அப்படின்னா first percentage of work completion is 40 lakhs by 40 plus 60 because I given further cost into 100, it is 40%. So if I present contract P&L, my dear friends, contract revenue will be contract, you should compute this. Just because you see 190 or 10 lakhs loss, 10 lakhs fully booked, that's okay, but revenue is not 90 lakhs. Revenue can't book fully. Revenue is only percentage completion. 90 lakhs into 40 percentage, it is 36 lakhs. Contract cost to actuals da. Contract cost to actuals da. What is actual? 40 lakhs. Appo you're getting a loss of only 4 lakhs. Adudha. But you should book full loss. What is the full loss? 10 lakhs. Adhukku working note you should provide. Working note la total loss vandu it is 90 lakhs minus 100 lakhs. It is 10 lakhs loss. Current year loss enna 4 lakhs. Appo further loss vandu 6 lakhs. So you create provision for further loss 6 lakhs. So by creating provision for 6 lakhs, you book full loss of 10 lakhs. Abdinradhu concept. So you are creating provision not for 10 lakhs, creating provision only for 6 lakhs so that full loss is accounted immediately. இதுவும் remember பண்ணிக்கோங்க. இதுதான் பொதுவா tested. Maybe combining segmenting ஒரே தடவை சும்மா அப்படியே glance பண்ணிட்டு போங்க. ஒரு தியரியா வரலாம். Combining and segmenting ஓட rules. So 2 or more contracts will be combined and treated as a single contract, or single contract for construction of several assets will be each segmented into separate contract under certain conditions. Check பண்ணிட்டு போங்க. All of you, இது AS7. இன்னும் ரெண்டு ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் இருக்கு, AS4, AS5. My dear friends, AS4 la start பண்றேன் because AS5 came in the last examination. AS4 primarily deals with contingencies and events occurring after the balance sheet date. Contingencies and events occurring after the balance sheet date. இதுல contingency segmentல originally we had contingent gain, contingent loss, contingent liability, contingent asset. இப்போ இந்த contingent liability and contingent asset segment வந்து AS29 க்கு போச்சு. ஆனா contingent gain and contingent loss no, அது still AS4 தான். contingent gain and contingent losses. அதுல என்ன சொல்லுது அப்படின்னா, if the contingent loss is probable na, the standard says it should be immediately provided for. This standard doesn't speaks about provision in relation to a liability. It's not liability. It's loss, contingent loss. You expect some loss in future, not some outflow, which means how that loss, some reduction from assets, that is provision for bad debts. இதெல்லாம் created as per AS4 தான். So that is not obligation. A provision for bad debts is not created as per AS29. Provision for bad debts is created as per AS4 தான். It is a probable contingent loss. அப்படின்னா you should provide. Possible na, you need not provide. If it is probable na, more likely of getting that loss na, you should create that loss. Contingent gain, even though not probable, it should not be provided. No recognition. No recognition. So for contingent loss, no recognition. Exactly, very good. If it is virtually certain, it can be recognized. But if it is probable na, it cannot be recognized. But contingent loss, if it is probable, it shall be recognized. This is basic understanding about contingency segment from AS4. Then events occurring after the balance sheet date. After balance sheet date, before the approval of financial statement, say May 15, 2022, it is approved. Financial statement going to be signed. But between these two dates, certain things happens na, some events we will tell, it can be adjusted in the balance sheet. Even though it happens after the balance sheet, it can be adjusted. Sometimes it is non-adjusting. So in the events occurring after the balance sheet, first we will discuss as per the standard only if it occurs between these two dates. Suppose if it is happening outside the approval date na, then you should not be discussed only for adjustment. So you should not, it is not an event as per AS4. It shall be accounted only in the subsequent period na, you should be giving, because latest again RTPO mark test source தெரியல மறந்து போயிடுச்சு. So but latest RTPO mark test paper அதுல ஒரு question. So there was a theft which occurred in February, discovered in July. ஆனா அப்ரூவல் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் 2 லைன்ஸ்ல இருந்தது மே 15th வந்து அப்ரூவல் அப்படின்ட்டு. அப்போ அட்ஜஸ்டிங்கா நான் அட்ஜஸ்டிங்கானு நிறைய தடவை கிளாஸ் ரூம்ல தெஃப்ட்னா அட்ஜஸ்டிங் அப்படின்னு படிச்சிருப்போம். ஏன்னா எரர்ஸ் தெஃப்ட் எல்லாம் அட்ஜஸ்டிங்னு கடகடன்னு அது அட்ஜஸ்டிங் எழுதி வச்சு தப்புப்பா. பிகாஸ் இட் வாஸ் டிஸ்கவர்ட் after the approval of financial statement, so thereby it has to be accounted only in the subsequent period. It should be accounted only. அப்போ disclosure பண்ணுமா இல்ல பத்தி ஈவென்ட்டே இல்ல, it is not an event as per AS4. Also you should mention it's accounted only in the subsequent period. சரி, suppose if it was discovered before approval na, then adjusting or non adjusting, then adjusting. Even though you were not aware of the theft, your awareness is not a condition, and the theft originally happened. Now when you discover, now you now turn back to balance sheet date. Was this loss existed on that data? Yes, it was there. Appo it becomes an adjusting event. Like that we understood, my dear friends, all of you. Okay, appo if the event for which some situation existed on balance sheet date and even confirming that situation, we call it as adjusting. If there is no indication or situation existed on balance sheet date, then it is called non-adjusting event. Adjusting events, adjustment should be made. Non-adjusting event, then it should not be adjusted. It requires disclosure. Only if it materially changes the financial position. இல்லனா disclosure கூட வேண்டாம். I hope you are following this. So thereby இப்போ we have discussed this. So in April I received checks. dated March date போட்டிருக்கிற நிறைய checks ஏப்ரல்ல வந்தது. Okay, so then my dear friends, இந்த checks எல்லாம் ஏப்ரல்லையே பேங்க்டு and it was realized in cash also. அப்போ மேல when I approve the financial statements, so can I show this as cash and bank balance? Can I show this as cash and bank balance? At least bank balance, if not cash balance, can I show checks in hand as bank balance, my dear friends? What do you say? No, it shouldn't be, because there was no, it can't be considered as an receipt on the balance sheet date. Our balance sheet date they are pakka debtors only. Just because of it is predated, we can't consider that as a cash balance or bank balance. So it is a non-adjusting event. அப்போ non-adjusting eventனா டக்குனு student will understand. அப்போ disclosure பண்ணலாம்ல, இது event தானே? first of all event தானே? is it an event as per AS4? event தான். அப்போ adjusting இல்லை, அப்போ non-adjustingனா என்ன பண்ணும்? you should disclose we told, no, but should I disclose? ஆனா இது financial position-ஐ change பண்ணாது. So if you make the real accounting effect of this is what you know, bank to debtors. ஒரு asset மாத்தி இன்னொரு asset மாறுது. So financial position is not changing, current asset position அப்படியே is not same retained. So thereby the standard says that it doesn't require adjustment. Hope you are following this, everybody. Okay, அப்போ that point also you should be remembering. அதுக்கப்புறம் I told you negotiation for acquiring a business started in March. April consideration agreed. And A limited absorbed B limited. அப்போ அது அட்ஜஸ்டிங்கா நான் அட்ஜஸ்டிங்கா? ஸோ நம்ம நெகோஷியேஷன்லாம் மார்ச்லேயே ஸ்டார்டட். ஸோ மார்ச்சில் தாஜில் ஒரு மீட்டிங், அதுக்கப்புறம் சவேராவில் ஒரு மீட்டிங், அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்து ஃபைனலாக வந்து ஹயாத்தில் போய் ஒரு ஃபைனலாக அக்ரி பண்ணிட்டோம். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி ஹோட்டலாக போய் பல மீட்டிங் போட்டு ஏப்ரலில் we have agreed the consideration. அப்போது இந்த acquisition is adjusting event or non adjusting event? First of all, is it an event as per AS4? It is event. So if the question in the AS4 if the approval date not given, then there is no discussion whether it's event or not. It is event. It occurred before the approval only. Understood? So it is event or not event, or discussion it comes only if you know balance sheet date as well as approval date. அப்பதான் the discussion வரும். இல்லனா எல்லாமே, because you should not ask how do I know அப்படின்லாம் கேட்க கூடாது. It is event only. சரி, only thing is you should discuss adjusting or non-adjusting ஆனு. So here it is non-adjusting. Should we disclose? Should we disclose this? Yes, very much. It will change drastically our financial position. So definitely it requires the disclosure. But you can't make adjustment. You can't tell condition exists. In the condition, is that absorption took place on balance sheet date? No. Tomorrow tea coffee after you started the negotiation. So you can't tell as if the acquisition took place retrospectively here. So thereby, what is even confirming situation now, you get some extra information about the loss or gain or asset or liability that exists on balance sheet date. You are getting only information, not a new transactions. That is what you should understand. Then only it is adjusting event. All of you, ஏன் இதெல்லாம் அட்ஜஸ்ட் பண்ண வைக்கிறோம்னா அதெல்லாம் அன்னைக்கே இருந்தது, இப்போ இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் கிடைச்சு அது கன்ஃபார்ம் ஆயிடுச்சு. தட்ஸ் ஆல். தட் இஸ் ஹவ் யூ அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். ஆல் ஆஃப் யூ have filed a case against, somebody have filed a case against you. You created provision for 8 lakhs. You created provision for 8 lakhs. Judgment came in April and judge ordering you to pay 12 lakhs. அப்போ அந்த extra 4 lakhs, can I adjust? Should I adjust? Yes, because the provision was an estimated number. Now it got confirmed that we have an obligation on that date. So thereby, the 4 lakhs becomes an adjusting event, my dear friends. Hope you are following this, everybody. So that way, you should be very clear about this adjusting and non-adjusting event, my dear friends. And adjusting event na adjust, non-adjusting event na disclosure if it materially affects the financial position is what we are understanding about AS4. Finally, AS5, shall we? Okay. My dear friends, AS5 very simple pa. Profit and loss account, incomes and expenses grouped into ordinary items, ordinary exceptional, which means generally idu takku sollirunga sir. Sorry, first everything will write. Extraordinary item, prior period items, change in accounting estimate, which is not a new head, which will be shown either as ordinary or extraordinary. Change in accounting policy, change in accounting estimate, change in AP, change in AP, change in AE, change in accounting estimate, change in accounting policy. In the madri separate disclosures and highlighting should be given in the P&L, incomes and expenses, P&L oriented standard. Appo business la whatever regularly happening in the normal course of business activity, there need not be any separate disclosure in the notes. Separate you need not highlight, they are all called ordinary items. So you need not give separate disclosure, nothing. Ordinary ki general not disclosure. But if the size and nature of certain ordinary items is such that if disclosed separately provides better information to users, then disclose it. So the inventories, valuation, gains and losses, applying cost or NR, whichever is less, idella business la happens na. But if you highlight it separately, readers will get better information. Profit on sale of asset, loss on sale of asset, extraordinary la illa, adu ordinary da, normal happens in the business. So highlight it. So show it as exceptional items. All of you, extraordinary na something which normally doesn't expect to happen in the business, and due to some particular situation this happened, and thereby you need to highlight that information as extraordinary incomes and expenses, which means clearly distinct from ordinary activities. Those which are clearly distinct from ordinary activities, extraordinary. Prior period items, income or expense arising in the current period, but due to error or omissions of past, coming in the current year, na adu prior period item separately should be disclosed. So you need to simply tell, is it prior period item or not? separately disclosed. That's all. Change in accounting estimate. Change in accounting estimate. When the estimate changes, the effect should be separately disclosed either as ordinary or as extraordinary depending upon the nature of original estimate. So suppose last year you made provision for bad debts. This year you feel on the provision pattala, it is not adequate. So you need to change. Last year it was ordinary. But this year change to ordinary. Last year you accounted some provision for abnormal loss. So this year that provision is changing. Then it is extraordinary. Now also extraordinary. Like that we understand, my dear friends. Change in accounting policy is possible only under certain circumstances. We should be knowing standard telling, statute telling, better presentation. So otherwise change is not acceptable. And if you change, then the fact, the reason, effect shall be disclosed. The fact so and so changes happened. Why do you change? Somebody told you, statute told, standard told, reason, and effect should be separately disclosed. Because of this change, inventory this much became, stock this much become, profit this much, effect, like that. Effect should be disclosed. All of you? Okay. Adala important, you should be knowing two important things. One is when you adopt a policy for items which were non-existing in the past. So some transaction never happened in the past. That is happening only now. In relation to such transaction, you are bringing a new policy. That is not change in accounting policy. Application of a new policy for transactions that occurred in the current year and was not occurred in the past, then or it is immaterial. Either never happened or it is immaterial. Then it is not change in accounting policy. Similarly, transaction happened, but other substance is changing. So if the substance of the transaction, the manner in which the transaction is changing, because of the change in the manner of transaction, we are also changing the policy. That also shouldn't be taken as change in accounting policy. Then a depreciation method from SLM we are changing to WDV. So in that case, that is not change in accounting policy, it is change in accounting estimate. இதெல்லாம் தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். All of you. அதுக்கப்புறம் ஒரு question again source மறந்துட்டேன். So there was a land sold by a business enterprise. எதுக்காக soldனா ஒரு திடீர்னு டைட் சிச்சுவேஷன்ல liquidity crunch they are facing. So immediately the land they want to sell and they sold. அதோட சேர்த்து there was a building in that land and the building வந்து destroyed by fire. And the building oda value was 8 lakhs. In the land sale we got a profit of 10 lakhs. Upon the business entity showed a net profit of 2 lakhs in relation to that particular land and building. Is it correct? So is it correct to set off this? It is not correct. The set off is not possible because this is actually a loss arising from this by fire, and this is profit on sale of land. Set off is not possible. Sari, இப்போ loss by fire of 8 lakhs அது என்ன nature அப்படின்னா that is extraordinary. Only thing is the 10 lakhs general or land held for investment sold getting a profit of 10 lakhs அது ordinary தான். ஆனா facing a financial difficulties, a liquidity crunch, and because of that you are selling, that is not something that regularly happens in the business. So businessman வந்து அது நடக்கவே நடக்காதா இல்லப்பா, பொதுவா சாதாரண ரீதியில businessல it won't happen. So thereby that is considered not as an exceptional, that is also considered as an extraordinary, something that is not happening in the ordinary activities of the business. Tomorrow to do working capital I don't have funds அப்படின்றது that doesn't happens in the ordinary course of business. So thereby the answer to that particular question either latest RTP or mark test paper தான் தெரியல, செக் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. So even that is also identified as extraordinary. அப்ப ரெண்டுமே எக்ஸ்ட்ராordinary-ஆ இருந்தா அது செட் ஆஃப் பண்ணிக்கலாமேனா இல்ல, எக்ஸ்ட்ராordinary-யோட disclosure requirement says that the nature and amount of each extraordinary item shall be separately disclosed. The nature and amount of each extraordinary item should be separately disclosed. So rendume extraordinary, both should be separately disclosed. It should not be offsetted. Understood in the question? Remember, my dear friends, all of you. Various questions that came to my mind, I have shared with you. We also explain all the concept, 13 standards, my dear friends. See, though I said that provisions are so we should understand, my dear friends. So if it is substandard asset for NBFC ki substandard asset, so we understand it is 0.40 if it is systemically important. Non-systemically important, now it is 0.25%. Standard. So substandard, my dear friends. So if it is substandard, then it is 10%, 10%, 10% and 10%. All of you. Then if it is doubtful, D1, D2, D3, it is how much? 20, 30, 50. Same 20, 30, 50. 20, 30, 50. For secured portion, unsecured portion it is 100%. But this banks marila, it is 20, 30, 50. 20, 30, 50. For last asset, it is 100%, 100%. So, systemically important, non-systemically important, அது ரெண்டுத்துக்கு ஒரு difference வந்து standardல 0.4, which is equal to banking provisions. So, otherwise it is 0.25%. Hope you remember the percentage. இதுவே bank அப்படினா you're understanding அந்த 0.40%. அப்புறம் you have infrastructure க்கு 1%. அதுக்கப்புறம் you have a 0.25% for agricultural loans and advances. So, இது வந்து standard. Substandard பொறுத்தவரை you have, my dear friends, 15 plus 10. So, which means secured portion na 15, unsecured na 25%. 25%. Unsecured na 25% if it is substandard. Doubtful, what is the percentage, my dear friends? Doubtful it is 25, 40, 100. 25, 40 and 100 for secured portion. Unsecured portion it is 100%. In the provisioning you should remember, my dear friends, all of you. So please also solve that hire purchase or leased asset problem, my dear friends. Adala you have two provisions. One normal provision, another provision is called additional provision. We have normal provision, additional provision. Additional provision is 10%, 40%, 70%, 100%. 10%, nil, 10, 40, 70, 100. Additional provision. So, எப்போ அப்படினா என்ன slab அது? It is overdue up to 12 months. Up to 12 months na nil. Up to 12 months it is nil. More than 12, 12 to 24, 24 to 36, 36 to 48. And more than 48. So like that slab, my dear friends, default period up to 12 months nil. This is additional provision. Sari, the percentage should be applied on what abdina? It is called net book value. It should be computed on net book value. So what is net book value? Net book value is nothing but, my dear friends, in relation to hire purchase leased asset, I already given the asset, somebody is using. From then I am supposed to receive some installment. No. So, total unpaid installment. Total unpaid installment. Suppose, my dear friends, I have installment 20 lakhs, totally 7 in numbers. I have received one. So, second one due. So, appo in the second year la, if I want to create provision na, unpaid installment means how many installments, my dear friends? Each installment 20 lakhs. Each installment 20 lakhs. So how many installments I should take? Total unpaid installment abdina, you should take total unpaid installment 6. 6 into 20 I should take. Minus finance charges or interest in relation to unmatured installment. Finance charges in relation to unmatured installments. Finance charges in relation to unmatured installment is what we are understanding, my dear friends, all of you. Adi ethana installment? So here in the example I should deduct interest relating to 5 installment due ஆகாத installment ஓட இதுதான் total receivable. அதுல this interest I don't deserve. I deserve principal, I don't deserve interest if the installment have not become due. அதனால தான் we are deducting interest. It's a simple common sense only. From that, my dear friends, the book value of asset to be deducted, to arrive at normal provision. So book value of asset computed by 20% straight line method of depreciation. 20% straight line method of depreciation. Suppose asset order cost price 90 lakhs and already 2 years over abdina 90 lakhs into 60%. I should apply that 54 lakhs. Like that you should calculate. You will get normal provision, my dear friend. Normal provision calculation. Then the same computation minus normal provision will give you net book value of the asset. So rare தடவை அந்த கொஸ்டினை you please ரொம்ப ஃபாஸ்ட்டாக அதை ரீகால் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். அந்த கொஸ்டினை you go through very easy only. So omit பண்ண வேண்டாம். So that way we have completed almost everything. Another 10 o'clock we have another session for class. So thereby we have to quickly wind up now. So all the accounting standards are there. Same rules applicable. 100 marks mantra. Deep breath எடுத்து question paper read பண்ணிட்டு first best question should be answered, my dear friends. Question numbers in the center of the page. Order can be changed, no problem. But question numbers on the center of the page ல எழுதி நல்லா ஃபாஸ்ட்டாக ப்ரெசென்ட் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சிருங்க. நல்ல கான்ஃபிடென்ட் ஆன்சரை ஃபஸ்ட்டு எழுதி ஆரம்பிங்க. Then obviously you won't be having any difficulties, my dear friends. ரைட்டா? எல்லாமே அட்டென்ட் பண்ணுங்க. எல்லா கொஸ்டினும் அட்டென்ட் பண்ணணும் without fail. Some working notes should be given. அதில் சொல்யூஷனுக்கு ஃபஸ்ட்டு ப்ரையாரிட்டி போஸ்டிங் rather than ஒர்க்கிங் நோட் போடல சார், சொல்யூஷன் எதுவுமே எழுதலை சார், ஃபினான்ஷியல் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் ஆஃப் கம்பெனி நான் நோட்ஸ் எழுதிட்டேன், அந்த பேலன்ஸ் ஷீட் பிஎல் அப்படியே விட்டேன் சார் அப்படின்னா அது பண்ண முடியாதுப்பா. அதனால் அங்கே சப்போஸ் லாஸ்ட் 20 minutes தான் நீங்கள் ஒரு சம் அட்டன் பண்ணுறீங்கன்னா அந்த லாஸ்ட் 20 minutesல சொல்யூஷனோட இதுக்கு நம்பர்ஸுக்கு ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணி அப்புறம் ஒர்க்கிங்ஸை ஃபிட்டிங் பண்ணுங்கள். ஒரிஜினலாக சால்வ் பண்ணும்போது டிஃப்ரெண்ட்டாக இருக்கலாம். பட் லாஸ்ட் 20 minutes, லாஸ்ட் 15 minutesனா தென் சொல்யூஷன் திங்ஸுக்கு கிவ் ப்ரையாரிட்டி, மை டியர் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ். ரைட்டா? ஸோ நல்லா எழுதுங்க, நல்ல மார்க் கிடைக்கும். ஓகே, ஸோ சூப்பராக பண்ணுங்கள். ஆல் தி பெஸ்ட். தேங்க்யூ. ஹார்ட்டி விஷஸ், மை டியர் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ். நல்லா பண்ணுங்கள். Yes, obviously. See, we are going to show the net amount only in P&L. Net amount only we are going to show. Net of insurance. So, if the insurance is related to ordinary item, it is ordinary. Exceptional item, exceptional. Extraordinary, extraordinary. Thank you, Akshaya. Thank you so much. All the best. Do well, my dear friends. Confident exam. All the best. Any other things, if you have, text pannunga in the WhatsApp. Okay? All the best. Fine. So admin கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா டைம் ஆயிடுச்சு. ஓகே, ஸோ நோ ப்ராப்ளம்ப்பா. பாஸ்ட் எக்ஸாமினேஷன் பற்றி எந்த வரியும் இல்லாமல் செம்ம மார்க் வரும். ஓகே, ஸோ குரூப் 2 அட்வான்ஸ் அக்கௌண்டிங் செம்ம ஈஸியாக வரும். ஸோ ப்ளீஸ் செக்யூர் த மேக்ஸிமம் மார்க்ஸ். ஓகே, ஸோ தேங்க்யூ. பாய்.